Hello, and welcome to the D4 The Mighty Daves show. I am your host, Dave Ball, also known as Blinston on Reddit and @Blinston1 on Twitter. And today I have my usual co-host with me. We have LA Kings Dave, as he is known by on Reddit and Twitter. We have Minnesota Dave, known as Birdbag on Twitter, and Abe Froman 1986 on Reddit. And Dave Gamboa, known as David Gamboa on Reddit and Twitter, and he'll be joining us in a little bit. So how you guys doing?
Okay, seeing as we don't have much of anything going on as a Kings fan today, but I love the draft, so.
Yeah, it's a fun time. And why isn't the Q&A opening up now? I guess that won't
Abe,
be used.
how are you feeling about Minnesota today?
No news is good news.
Does that mean you don't want them to make any moves?
Well, Fletcher generally, if he's going to do something, he usually does it around the draft, and I guess apparently he was sitting down and going over trade scenarios, but, I mean, at this point, this team really doesn't need to do much, to be honest with you.
You guys do have a very good team there.
Yeah, the only two guys that we've been shopping around are Brodziak and Backstrom, so.
What's going on with Nino Niederreiter? Is he going to be resigning?
I hope so. He's a restricted free agent, but hopefully he'll be signed to. I wouldn't mind seeing a 3-year deal with him.
Okay.
So, yeah, we got a lot of RFAs that need to be signed. Jason Zucker is one, and he's probably going to be trade bait as the season progresses, I would imagine. But we'll see. I think Howell needs to be resigned too. I'm looking at the depth chart right now.
You guys are in great shape right now.
We are, yeah, I looked at that. We
have
really
$20 million in cap space as of today, and you are currently $3 million under the floor. So.
Yep.
What's it like to have cap space? Can you tell me that?
You know, I don't know. I remember that we used to have cap space when we sucked.
I don't think we've ever had cap space.
You know what's crazy is a few years ago, probably, I would say 5 or 6 years ago, the Kings had cap space, but they were losing money because they sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have no cap space, but we're making money because obviously everybody makes a ton of money in the playoffs. So it's really just, it always amazes me when I see owners like the Islanders owner who just doesn't spend any money, even though he sees that even guys like Jeremy Jacobs, the owner for Boston, who for a long time was so stingy, all of a sudden woke up seemingly 6 years, 7 years ago and was like, oh, you know what, I bet if we win, I'd make money. And then all of a sudden he's making money. I know that Philly has always had a competitive team, but their owner always knows. It's like, you gotta spend money to make money.
Oh, yeah. And something we've always done is spend money to make money. Yeah, so.
There are some teams, obviously, like Florida, where the ownership has a deal with their stadium, and they don't care if they win or lose just because they're making money on the stadium, but...
Florida just, didn't Florida announce this year that they're going to be trying to spend to the cap now?
Yeah, I think the owners told them, yeah, go for it.
Not just like what happened with Buffalo a couple years ago. Pagula has them now, allowing them to spend to the cap.
So today, Vancouver was amazing.
Vancouver did a lot today. Wow. Kessler and a 2015 third round was shipped off to Anaheim for Nick Bonino? I don't know how to say
Bonino.
Bonino?
Nick Bonino.
Lucas Spiza and a 2014 first round and a 2014 third round. So they got a pretty good deal for Ryan Kessler there.
Well, that third round pick turned into Derek Dorsett from the Rangers.
Yeah.
Well, they swap picks, though, right?
No, because that pick went to New York, the 85th for this year.
They traded for Derek Dorsett this year.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought they were swapping picks in the third.
Well, they did. Yeah, they swapped third round picks, but then the Canucks sent that third round pick to New York for Derek Dorsett.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Another thing
I think that it's a good deal for Anaheim. I mean, I go to a lot of Ducks games because I live in Anaheim, even though I'm not obviously a fan, but
hockey's still hockey.
They are getting what they needed. I mean, Bonino was centering their fourth line, and now they get a second line center, and they can move what's his name down. Why am I drawing a blank? Cogliano down to the third line. And you have Matthew Perreault, who's a restricted free agent, but I'm pretty sure he's going to re-sign with Boudreaux being there. Man, the Ducks were already scary. They've won the division 2 years in a row. This is such a good move for the Ducks, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And Vancouver, I think, did better than people are saying. I know Vancouver fans hate to see him go, but
They
he
actually
wanted
got
to
a pretty
go.
good deal out of it. I mean, they did a lot better than in their trades for Luongo and Schneider, so.
Yes. Well,
I mean,
different GM.
that is true. This GM seems to actually know what he's doing.
I'm not really sure how I
Their
feel about
last GM did win
but-
GM of the Year, though.
Yeah, that only matters if he actually can pull off good trades year after year. So.
Aside from the Derek Dorsey deal as well, they traded Jason Garrison
That
and
deal was
Costello to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
That was kind of lopsided a little bit.
that was very lopsided, but I mean it's a cap dump. A lot of Canucks fans are saying it's a cap dump because I think they're trying to make a move for Tyler Myers. I'm speculating that they're going to be going after Stastny because right now, I mean, aside from they don't have a second line right now. So I think with the cap dump and the free space, that gives them a shot at Stastny. Also Tyler Myers too, as I said, because he has a 5.5 hit.
What type of cap space do they need? They have like $18 million in cap space.
Yeah, I think they have 20 million in cap space, something like that.
Vancouver right now?
No,
Yeah.
it's 18 million.
18.
18? Okay.
Well, it's 17 something, but I'm rounding.
We'll just call it 18.
Yeah. I'm not going.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But why Tyler Myers? They don't need more defense. They just picked up a defenseman today in Lucas Pisa.
They have 6 on their roster right now, so they might be wanting a 7th.
Yeah, but why would they not re-sign Yannick Weber?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me that they would trade away a defenseman and pick one up and then go for another defenseman when what they really need is offense.
Yeah.
I think that this move is obviously good for Tampa Bay. I mean, I think they got the better end of that deal.
And they got a
Jason
defenseman
Garrison
that
is
they
not a
definitely
bad
need.
player. I know you guys don't watch as many of the Pacific games, but he's not terrible.
I had Garrison on one of my fantasy teams 1 year. No, he's a good defenseman.
Yeah, I've had him on my.
To him. I think when he was on the Panthers.
Yeah.
Before he went to free agency, but no, I mean honestly, I'd say he's probably the Canucks' best defenseman last year. But
And that's going to help out Tampa so much because they need defense. That's one of their biggest glaring weaknesses.
I was gonna say they have Matt Carl, I think.
Matt Carl's not a bad defenseman. You know, speaking as a person that had him on his team, he's not bad. It's just he's like a normal defenseman type. He's an offensive defenseman, so you can't really rely on him to play the defensive end of the game. Which, yeah, he does stupid things, but he has a really good breakout pass, which is severely underrated by a lot of fans who watch him. He can drive a play up the ice by passing it. And people just watch he gets 1 or 2 turnovers a game that people really latch onto because sometimes they're very glaring. But that's most defensemen. If they have a turnover, they freak out. Yeah, he's not a bad defenseman in terms.
Who do you guys see? I mean, obviously Vancouver's made all the news today, but who do you guys see possibly making another move? We expected Vancouver to make a move for Kessler before today, and obviously that did happen. But who else do you see making a move? I know a lot of people speculated with Florida. However, I think that's not a wise move personally. I would take Ekblad if I was Florida. But is there anybody else you see making a big splash today?
Not really, to be honest with you. I think a lot of teams are pretty set.
I can see Vinny moving. If anything, that's going to happen for my team. I think Vinny will be the only player that gets moved, hopefully.
I mean, apparently the Canucks want the first overall, and they I guess according to Drieger, the offer was the 6th, 24th, and Hunter Shinkaruk. But I think Talon is pretty set on staying with the first and keeping the first.
Yeah, I mean, he did have an apparently amazing offer today.
Yeah.
Who knows how true it was? Because if it really was amazing, they probably would have taken it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so who knows what's gonna happen with that?
today, in other news, the Coyotes bought out Mike Ribeiro. Supposedly he's having substance abuse issues, is the rumor.
Really?
That's kind of sad to see a professional athlete lose their job for something like that.
Well, it's substance abuse, and they also apparently he's just not a good locker room guy. I read a tweet that, and all speculative, I guess, but it was basically just saying that management said that Ribeiro was just not a good fit for the team, just in the locker room or on or off the ice.
He did not perform very well this year in Phoenix either. So
No, especially being signed to the 2017-2018 season. Yeah, gotta get rid of that.
I was really surprised that they went with that after his performance in Washington.
Mm.
I hope that he conquers his demons, though, and, for the better.
Yeah.
This last hour, the Sharks said that they're going to buy out Martin Havlat. That's pretty interesting. Seeing as they said that they weren't going to be rebuilding, I'm wondering why now they're getting rid of a guy like Havlat.
He's like a really good player, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah, he just can't be. He can't stay. He just can't stay healthy.
It's true.
Yeah. So.
I mean,
He was. Well, if they're gonna buy him out, I guess they already are. They already did. So I guess it doesn't really matter.
Is it confirmed 100% already?
I'm pretty sure it is, according to sources.
he didn't even. Yeah, he didn't even play 50 games this year.
He's making $5 million a year. He was set to become a free agent next year.
Yeah.
So 1 year, I don't know. Seems kind of weird to me, unless they have some plan that they're shooting for somebody that they need. It's a little bit weird to me because I don't know if you're going to find somebody better than him to fill that role right now in the free agent market. Maybe somebody just cheaper, or at least more durable.
To be fair, what kind of role was he playing? Because every time I saw him, he was usually like on the third or fourth line.
According to their depth chart, he's first line right wing. For $5 million a year, he better be first or second line. I mean, unless you're Mike Richards, but
or Danny Heatley.
Sorry about that. Thanks for taking that contract, I guess.
Hey, no problem, dude.
You're welcome for the cups.
Yeah. Hey, you got diversity with that trade.
Yeah, we have our one black person. We had two, but the other one hasn't been re-signed and probably won't. Yeah.
I'm just gonna be interested. I wonder if the Sharks are gonna be moving Thornton or Marlowe. Just because, I mean, those rumors have died down a little, but at the same time,
They said they're not going to rebuild. They're probably not going to at least trade Thornton.
I apologize. I got booted out.
Oh, you left. I didn't realize.
Hey, thanks. Glad you noticed.
I was looking at CapGeek and all these other things to try to find things to talk about while we're waiting for this.
Well, there's plenty to talk about. It's just
waiting for the draft to start right now.
I'm excited. I thought that the draft started at 7:10 your time, but
it's 7:13 now.
Yeah, I thought that it would have already drafted, but they're still waiting.
So.
Do you guys think that Florida moves this draft?
I don't think so.
I don't think they're gonna. They have a new GM who probably won't trade away the first overall. Again.
Yeah, I think that their experience as a franchise will tell them that hasn't been a good idea.
Yeah. Considering who went first overall in those drafts, it was Vincent LeCavalier, Rick Nash, and who was the third one? Fleury, Marc-Andre Fleury. So, based on their past experiences, I doubt they would trade it away again. Three very good players in this league.
What else is crazy is that the Fleury deal. That was 2003, which is the greatest draft ever.
Mm-hmm.
They are really letting Bettman have it.
They got Nathan Horton.
I mean, they probably would have taken Horton anyway, first overall. Oh, they're booing Bettman.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're really letting him have it. I love that he's a good sport about it, though.
He has to be.
Oh, yeah.
I love that the fans are so relentless.
Yeah, they are really laying into him. I just love him saying, "I love your passion. Thank you for welcoming me."
I can't wait until we hear Pittsburgh come on.
Oh my god.
Oh, that
I
place is
love
gonna
I
be.
love though that I love seeing the different dynamic every year of where this gets hosted, because sometimes you get places like I went to the draft at Staples Center a couple years ago, and everyone was just so happy that we finally got a draft, in Los Angeles. Whereas here it's like everyone in Philly's like it's about time, and
Yeah, this is our first draft ever, so.
yeah,
Well, New Jersey had it last year, and I mean they laid into Bettman pretty good too with the booing.
I remember 2 years ago when it was in Pittsburgh, how the Pittsburgh's fans laid into Paul Holmgren. He couldn't even speak. It was such loud booing. It was so funny.
Who is? Oh, that's right, Jim Rutherford. I was gonna say who's GMing for Pittsburgh now, but
Yeah. Apparently, they even what's his name? Who's there now? Who's there? Tockett, Rick Tockett. He's been Flyers post game analysis for a couple years now, for a while now, and he was booed when he during roll call. Apparently, he just left our team a couple days ago, and he was booed relentlessly already.
I wonder if
I like the change of name for the Coyotes.
Oh, the
I know
Arizona
most
Coyotes,
people have said
yeah.
it's a good move, but I gotta agree.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona, you have the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Arizona Cardinals. Like, you gotta make it Arizona Coyotes as well. The
Yeah.
Phoenix Suns have never had a problem selling their brand. I don't really know
Phoenix also
why.
actually plays in Phoenix.
That's true, but every other team in Arizona has always struggled for the most part. I know Arizona Diamondbacks won a championship, but here we go.
The booing is just beautiful.
I love
You're
if
on
you
the
look at the
clock now.
timeline right, like Twitter line right now, everyone says, "Damn Philly, I'm impressed." Having the draft in Philly was the best thing ever.
And you guys sold this out too. I like that you did it on a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I went, it was on like a Saturday afternoon in the middle of the day in LA, which obviously it's a time zone thing, I guess, because it would be earlier here regardless. But
Apparently, tomorrow it's sold out also. Like tickets
that's
were gonna be
ridiculous.
tickets tomorrow are going on StubHub for like $80. Yeah.
That's not even worth it.
I
I'm
know
just
it was
gonna throw
free
this out there.
beforehand.
Any of the 10 fans of ours that are listening, maybe there's dozens. I know we usually get like 30 to 40 people that actually listen to this every week, but if you ever go to a draft, drink lots of booze. Anything past the first round is kind of boring, I'm not going to lie. Unless you have some emotional investment to a player.
Yeah.
It looks like Florida is already moving up to go pick,
Yeah,
right?
Yep. Yeah, it's moving up. I would be shocked.
I'm hoping for them it's Ekblad, honestly.
Yeah,
I think
that'd be the
that's
only
a smart
person they
move.
should get.
Especially after they got Barkov last year.
I should probably pay attention to Florida because they have two golfers on their team that they've drafted.
Florida?
Yeah, they have Bukestad, Nick Bukestad, and they have Kyle Rao, who's playing one more year, I believe. He's come back for a senior season.
They got some exciting young players, though. They really do.
Oh, they do.
Jonathan Huberdeau.
He is very
Barkov.
exciting to watch. So let's see
Not a
who
big
they pick.
fan. Who's the other one? Gudbranson or whatever?
Gabranson.
Gudbranson.
That's who the Flyers are really high on when they're trying to trade. Here comes first overall. The booing. We're even booing Florida.
Always
God,
love
you
coming to
guys hate
Florida.
Florida so much.
Oh, they're actually cheering.
Allen's taking it pretty well, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he has to. He's probably just happy that they're recognized.
I think just I think just
We're
about
being
every
recognized.
I think just about every team coming into this had to realize, yeah, we're gonna get booed.
I like how they're booing the Kings.
They booed them to be.
Here it comes. He's really drawing this out.
Yep.
Yep.
He
It's like
knows.
bad. Yeah.
He was drawing it out so much.
Oh, that was great.
Why did you have to do that? But yeah, Aaron Ekblad was picked, like everyone else thought they would be.
And that's good.
Yeah, it's very good.
They get
for
a
them.
big defenseman. And he's probably going to jump straight to the NHL, barring some miracle.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah,
he'll
definitely.
be- yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see him going really quick. Though they might send him back just for 1 year or two, maybe.
Obviously,
knows?
we've heard everything there is to hear about Ekblad in the last couple weeks, but obviously he's one of the 4 players in history of junior hockey to be granted exceptional status. So that's impressive in and of itself.
Yeah.
I think most people picked him to be the number 1 pick in this draft, and like 2 years ago, and he's basically stayed the number 1 prospect throughout this whole thing.
Yeah. So.
There is a history, though, of picking defensemen first overall that has sometimes not always gone well for them.
Right back.
What's that? Oh, Gabe's getting food. So
no, I will agree, but also I think too with just with the way technology is getting and the way these kids get trained, I don't think that's as risky as a lot of people would say it is.
And there's obviously the old adage that you can't teach size.
Yeah,
and
and the
kid's
kid's
215.
216, yeah, around there, yeah.
My food's here. Sorry about that.
I've only watched him play sparingly because we don't get a lot of minor league coverage here in Southern California. I watched some of the playoffs for the OHL, but not a whole lot. I don't know if you guys saw much of what he did, but most people have said he's basically looked like a man among boys out there.
So is this Ekblad now?
Yeah.
About him? Okay. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch much of juniors.
I pretty much only get NCAA.
Yeah, that's basically all I can really watch if I choose to. So.
Who do we think goes next? Do we think Reinhardt or Bennett?
I'm thinking the Buffalo. I think wanted Reinhardt.
I could see Reinhardt.
I think that's who Cassie said that they were going to pick when we had them on the Wooden Ball show last week.
And they've said from the beginning they weren't going to trade this pick, so I think that they were pretty set in on that as well.
They're truly committing to a rebuild, which is really good for them. And they have rebuilt nicely. They've done it perfectly. They started with their goalies, then they went with defense, and now they're starting on their forwards. They definitely went in the correct order when it comes to all this.
And they have a ton of picks.
Yes.
This year, next year, and it's just they might be really scary in the next 4 years.
Oh yeah, I'm not looking forward to being in the Eastern Conference with them. Not looking forward to it whatsoever.
James Duthie just said that this is the first time, or the 10th time that a player's been picked first in juniors and in NHL drafts. That's
only 10th.
Well, when you look at the list that he has up right now, it's Lemieux, Lindros. Well, they took it off, but
Crosby was on there too.
McKinnon, Stamkos, Tavares, Crosby. I mean, when you're on the same list as all those guys, that's
most likely gonna be McDavid next year. I think was he taken first overall?
Yeah. I don't think there's any way you don't take McDavid first overall.
No, definitely not.
I don't have. Or is it?
I went under Wikipedia and I searched McDavid so I can see if he was picked first. And thing is Connor McDavid, an ice hockey phenomenon.
Who do you guys think? I know that everyone's been talking about the big three guys, maybe four with Leon and Draisaitl. I don't know how to pronounce it, but the German dude.
Okay.
Do you think that there's anybody that's gonna in the top four that's not going to pick one of the top four guys?
I don't think so. I think they're all going to pick with the top four. I don't think it's going to be a Seth Jones situation where he falls to like fourth, even though he's predicted to go first overall.
Yeah.
I think all the top four are going to be picked because I think all three of the four are forwards, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
fours are easier, or not, it's not easier, but they
3 of the 4 centers too.
yeah, it's easier. It's a lot. I can't think of the words I'm trying to say. A lot less of a risk, I guess, to pick a forward over a defenseman in the top five. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Because defensemen are such a risk when it comes to picking them. Because you never know.
In the last.
Go ahead.
Oh, here we go. Sam Reinhart. There we go.
Oh wow. Yep.
He didn't wait around like
That was
Talon
quick.
did.
That
Yeah.
was quick. He didn't want us to boo him for that long.
He didn't even think the NHL. What an asshole.
So Sam Reinhart, who everyone thought was going to go second, is picked second.
Who is he?
He is not a good old Canadian boy, is he? He's from BC, so he's one of those wild liberal left coastists.
I wonder how Don Cherry's going to take this.
He was captain of Canada's gold medal winning teams in 2002 and 2013 under-18 World Championship.
Wow.
He also won WHL's Rookie of the Year.
Nah, one of the tweets I just saw was Tim Murray doesn't like fun. Because he didn't crawl out.
I kind of wonder if Edmonton is going to take Michael Collier. What's his face? Because for the most part, I'd say they're pretty set on center. So Red Nugent Hopkins, Sam Gagne, Boyd Gordon, Mark Arcobello. Left wing is obviously Taylor Hall, Dave Perron, and they have Matt Hendricks and some no-name kid.
Well, Leon Draisaitl, or however you pronounce it, he plays left wing as well.
Oh, he does. TSN has him listed as the center.
He is.
And he's a pretty big guy, so you would think that they would want to pick him because they have a lot of small forwards on their team.
Yeah.
So having a bigger forward on your team probably will help out a lot.
Now, Reinhart was listed below Bennett. So what makes you think that? What does Buffalo see in him that they didn't see in Bennett?
Maybe Reinhart can do pull-ups. We don't know.
No, they released that video today of Bennett was able to do pull-ups.
Reinhart is bigger, so there is that.
Yeah, but not by much.
Do they have
No,
what's
not
their
by much,
scoring differential at the end of by the end of the year?
Okay, so Reinhardt at 105 points, plus 24. Bennett, 91 points. He's a plus 34. They had similar goals at 36, and then assists were 69 to 55, respectively.
Okay.
People say Reinhart might be a better playmaker.
Yeah, do they have a pure goal scorer? Does Buffalo have a pure goal scorer already?
Right now, no. Vanek's gone.
Yeah, I meant like in their system.
Just reading up on Bennett, I'm reading TSN, their final draft rankings. This is Mackenzie's draft rankings. Bennett kind of sounds like a Parisi type player.
Okay. My God, he has such a baby face.
They're saying with Reinhardt that he's just extremely intelligent with displays on the ice. So I I could probably see Buffalo trying to find a guy that's going to be a pure scorer for them, but also a playmaker.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not a bad pick whatsoever. No matter who they went with, it's not going to be a bad pick.
No.
You know what you were saying, Dave?
Oh, no, it's just, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, maybe it's just because we're so inundated with information, but everyone always talking about how this draft class is pretty weak compared to next year's.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the top 5 in this one are pretty good. Top 4 or 5 here, at least.
Mm-hmm.
You never know how players are going to develop.
Yeah. Well, they're saying next year is just going to be incredibly deep.
Did they say 2013? I mean, 2003 was going to be deep.
Yeah.
I heard that, like, at the beginning, it was like this may not be as deep as we thought, right before it all started. Thought they were thinking it wasn't gonna be that deep. I don't know though.
Well,
I think that was just pundits being pundits. How much? Oh, they already have the pick in. All right.
Did they?
So let's see what's going to happen here. Dreisaitl. That's how you pronounce it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Good old German boy. This is going to be the highest drafted German player, obviously, ever.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even. I don't know. The only German player I can think of is Marcel Gotch.
Well, Olaf Kolzig is probably the greatest German player ever.
Okay, yeah.
Dennis Seidenberg is the best right now. Off the top of my head, I can't think of very many other German hockey players. Germany's always one of those teams that's right on the fringe of getting demoted down to the lower level.
I'm gonna look up their national team right now to see if there was any.
I just want to hear a GM say thank you for your cheesesteaks. They were delicious. Yep, Draisaitl went.
Yeah.
Well, this draft is going as predicted so far.
There was not a single in the German team. There was not a single NHL player on it from this.
Dennis Seidenberg, but I don't think that he played in the Olympics because he was hurt or something, wasn't he?
He wasn't. He didn't play in the Olympics at least. I mean, they have a few who were in the AHL.
Sorry, somebody tweeted the Edmonton Oilers select the spare.
I mean, it was a good pick for them. He's a big guy, and they need a big guy on their team.
I agree.
I mean, of course, they're not going to go for a center. They're pretty deep at center. So.
I mean, well, he's listed, like I said, TSN he's listed as a center, but you said he plays left wing?
Yeah, I think he plays left wing. Yeah. So, I mean, that means Calgary's probably going to pick the other Sam.
I don't know who this kid is handing him the jersey with the fro, but dear Lord.
He's probably the owner's kid.
That's not Flo right there. That's Fro.
Yeah, that Fro is going hard.
I mean, that's better than Bobby Clark right there.
Bobby Clark didn't have a fro.
He kind of did.
He kind of did.
He had Fro.
Okay, aside from Wayne Simmons, who had the best fro in the history of the NHL?
Bobby Clark.
Bobby Clark. Maybe it's an ode to Bobby Clark because they're in Philadelphia.
I mean, no, it's a mix between a fro and a flow. It kind of goes down a little, but then once it.
Yeah, and now looking at it, yeah, I see it. I mean, the way I kind of say it, it's the '70s hair. It's a very '70s.
It's a perm. It's a perm.
It basically is. And then there's that one picture of him now with very short hair. It's so funny.
And teeth.
He actually has. No, he had teeth then. He just never always wore them. Come on, that toothless smile is one of the most famous things ever.
Oh yeah, no, I know it is.
Oh yeah.
Toothless smile with a wink.
That's actually the real reason why I wear a halfer when I play hockey is because I want to get hit with a puck there so I can recreate it.
That will be your dream moment.
Yeah, that'll. I'm pretty sure that'll be real popular at the bars with all the ladies.
I think you really just want to look like Dustin Brown.
No. He and I do share the same initials. Thank you, Woozle, for pointing that out. But I do know how a water bottle operates.
Confirmed. Dave Beardbag is Dustin Brown on the ice.
Terrible.
Does Matt Cook have his front teeth? Because I think
No.
Matt Cook also.
He's missing one tooth.
Yeah, so if you only lose one tooth, that means we have to call you Matt Cook.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
We got to get someone to knock out just one of his teeth.
I already drawn too many comparisons to Matt Cook anyway with the way I play. I don't like it. I don't need to look like him too.
Player.
Could this
No.
dude look any more German right now while he's holding this mic? He's holding it as rigidly as possible as in these questions. Like, yeah.
Well, yeah. Look at that Selly. The failed Selly. Yeah, it goes down to the knee to do the fist bump, and then he just slips it.
He almost
slips
ripped
it
his groin right there.
Yeah.
He looks so nervous right now.
I just like how he's
he'll be
staring at.
fine.
I like how he was staring at Duthie's notes there. It's like
He
he's trying
looks
to
like
see
he's watching the hand. It looks like.
He does not look psyched right now.
I mean, it's the Oilers.
Yeah, I just got drafted by the Oilers.
He's the second player so far that says his favorite non-hockey athlete is Lionel Messi.
It is World Cup season. All right, Calgary's up. Who do we think Calgary takes?
The other Sam.
Yeah, I think that he's the best available player, so why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Are they terribly deep at center?
I'm looking right now. Matt
they're
Stajan,
actually
Tom
okay.
Monahan.
I mean, yeah.
They're young at center.
Mm.
Calgary likes truculence. Good
Did they
job
just-
there. That's what they just said on TSN.
Oh, I'm waiting for Ari to say something. Where's Ari saying something?
LA Kings just asked if Aaron Ekblad was single, asking for a friend.
What? And here they go.
Very nice, Calgary.
These boos are just coming in. Congratulations on your cup, LA. Boo! Yep, there goes Bennett.
No surprise. Still,
Ooh, not a surprise
draft is going
whatsoever.
exactly as predicted.
Now I have no idea who's going to go next. I do not know anybody else in this draft.
Let's see. Who has the
Really?
fifth pick? Islanders?
Yeah, they have the next pick.
Well, Michael Dalcala is the highest rated player.
Okay.
After that,
But this is the Islanders.
Nick Ricci. Sorry.
The Islanders are going to pick the 90th most rated. Because they're the Islanders.
Garth Snow.
Garth Snow isn't as bad as we all say he is.
No, he's not. And we talked about that last
Yeah,
week.
we did.
I think that they have a lot of good young guys on their team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of wondering what they need.
I mean, they probably want a goaltender, but they wouldn't select him this early.
Well, they got Yaroslav Halak. I don't know if they need one.
But they don't really have a backup for him. That's the thing.
No.
trying to.
But that will be a few years down the
Well, they have
road.
Anders Nilsson. They have Kevin Pouliot.
Kevin Pouliot was terrible last year.
I'm just saying who they have for backup.
Like, god-awful. I think, statistically, he may have been the worst goalie in the NHL. And I'm not even joking.
And that's including, Pavlik and Dubnyk.
No, Dubnyk might have been. That's right. I just know Kevin Pouliot was terrible.
Well, Dubnyk didn't play the entire season in the NHL, so we kind of throw him away.
Looking at the Islanders roster right now, I don't think anybody drafted at this point is projected to make the NHL this year. If they do, it might be a stretch.
I think they're going to select Nylander. I hope they do, just because it's hilarious. William Nylander to the Islanders.
I think if they draft the Collie kid, I mean, they're not particularly deep at left wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Martin and Eric Bolton.
They're not particularly deep at right wing at all. Either.
That is true. Well, so, I mean, either way, I think they're going to take a winger on this one.
They do have Grabner and Okposo.
Yeah.
Okposo had a great year, even without Tavares.
Yeah, so. I mean, he's going to be their top right winger, most likely.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Nick Ritchie go.
Mm-hmm.
Just reading up on him. He's kind of got a power forward type build to him. And they say he's still growing.
Okay.
You were talking about Nylander, and Nylander, I'm looking at, some people are saying that he might be the most skilled player in the draft.
I think they just question his, work ethic, as most people do with European players.
Goddamn Europeans.
Tell you what, Ronnie.
I think it's funny that Europeans get that in sports here in North America, but so many people in Europe question Americans in general on their ethics.
Yeah, it's different lifestyles basically.
True.
I mean, over there they have a more speed game. Over here we have more of a physical game. So.
Well, you have to work harder here. You really do.
I mean, over here you don't only have to work harder, but it's a smaller rink, so there's more, physical with it. Over there, because it's a bigger rink, it's a lot more based on speed, because there's a lot more room to move. I mean, Nylander is 5th in the TSN rating, so he could go right now, but who knows?
In the TSN rating?
Yeah. He's 5th, but they also have DeCauley as 3rd, who wasn't picked yet.
Are you looking at it for just forwards?
This is overall. But they have Sam Reinhart above Ekblad.
Whose rankings are you looking at? Because I'm looking at Mackenzie's right now.
I will. I'll post it in the sidebar for you to look at.
Because Mackenzie has Nylander at 8th or 9th.
Oh.
I got linked it from the Wikipedia about this ranking, this thing. So, who says this? It's ISS.
I know there's no commercials, by the way.
Yeah, they're probably gonna try to make it into an hour, which they're not going to. Never mind, it's 7:42.
God, there's no way.
But also, I think they try to do 5 picks and then a break.
So that's good to get the top 5 out of the way.
Yeah, they get the top 5 out of the way, and then they kind of go back and forth. Oh yeah, we're gonna have fun trying to figure out what to talk about during the breaks. What?
Boring Sean Monahan. This Twitter just cracks me up. He just tweeted, I wanted to text Sam Ben and say congrats, but I don't have his number in my phone, so I'll have to wait. And that was it. Oh, here we go.
Wow, Garcino looks so old now.
Mm-hmm. Does he get booed? He's a former player, so he did get booed. That's weird. He did help us to the '97 Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh, they booed the Nassau. Little shout out. Well, took the call.
Oh, thanks. I'm behind your feed apparently.
I'm like a 3-second delay. Not a big deal.
Yeah. You said it as he was starting to talk about the team name that you were drafting from.
Well, the top 5 has not changed. It may have switched position, but the top 5 is all gone now.
Yeah, so I guess that's based on Bob McKenzie's top 5. because I do not have that.
Say again?
Was that, I guess, talking about Bob McKenzie's top 5, or just overall top 5?
I'm looking at
Overall top 5.
Yeah. So who do you think is going to go to Vancouver?
Canucks fans are saying Vertanen out of Calgary in the WHL. I'm reading up on him, and actually that would be a pretty good fit.
No, they obviously
seems like
need. They're not going to get a dynamic center to replace Kessler, so.
No, well, and that's why they got Bonino.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That.
Well, yeah, but he's not going to replace Kessler.
No.
There's also speculation that they might trade this pick. They have 2 picks now in the first round.
Yeah, they do.
So some people are saying that if they don't want to go full rebuild, that they're going to trade this pick and something else.
Well, to be honest with you, with some of the trades that Benning has made, they've basically gone into a full rebuild.
I mean, trading Kessler kind of signifies a rebuild.
Well, Kessler wanted out, so,
But think about who they've traded recently. Kessler, Luongo, Schneider, like last year. They are going into a rebuild whether they like it or not. They're lucky the Sedins want to stay around for it.
I don't actually think they're going to trade this pick only because the new GM. For a couple years now, Vancouver's picks have been scrutinized as not materializing anything. So I think that their depth in their system's pretty weak right now. And if you're the GM there, you want to build your legacy as somebody who can, make good picks. Yeah. So I would be surprised if they drafted it. Although, like I said, there is that rumor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think they're going to trade it just because I think they just won the first round or bust, or the first overall pick or bust. So now that Talon basically made his pick, I just don't see a reason for them to. They're sitting good at 6th overall, so I just don't see a reason for them to get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we saw the first European go.
Yeah.
But he's been playing in the U.S. for a while. Right now, the number 1 ranked European player is Sami Kapanen's son, Kasperi Kapanen.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if he plays anything like his father, he'll be a really good player.
Kind of wondering how far he's going to drop.
A lot of Flyer fans
he's ranked in the top 10 right now.
A lot of Flyer fans want him to drop to 17.
He speaks amazing English, too. I heard him earlier today.
I mean, his dad probably helped him a lot with this. Because his dad was over here for a long time, wasn't he?
True.
How many years did he spend in the NHL? He went from 1990 to 2010.
Really?
Till 2008. 2008 was his last year.
He spent 18 years with your team?
Not with my team. He started off with the Hurricanes. Well, he started off with the Hartford Whalers, actually, in 95. And then, he bounced around AHL, NHL, blah, blah, blah. And then in 97, he finally was up to the Hurricanes. Then he came to us in 2002. And then he stayed with us until 2008. And he was loved here. Mainly for what happened to him in 2004 when he was destroyed in a hit and then willed his way back to the bench instead of forcing them to stop play to get him off. And he had no idea.
I remember that, yeah.
And then the next play, after he got on the bench, Jeremy Rona came down and scored the overtime goal to send us to the Eastern Conference Finals. He willed himself onto the bench and willed himself into the hearts of every Philadelphia fan ever. So
I don't know how much sports you guys ever played, but if you ever been injured while playing, there's no greater personal feeling aside from winning where you get hurt and you still gut it out. It's just, I don't know, it's just an animal instinct or something, but
yeah, I would have done that.
It's not even so much like I'm a tough guy. I don't need to prove it to other people. It's like you want to prove it to yourself in the moment.
I
See, I
remember.
would have done that, but I had a 300-pound train just go right into my knee.
Ah,
Oh
I
well,
had.
I mean, I've dislocated my knee. There's nothing you can do at that point. I can't
Yeah.
walk that one off.
Yeah.
But there's other times where you get hurt and you're
Yeah.
like,
You know,
get
yeah.
through it.
Yeah,
The foot was planted, the knee was straight. Yeah, I wasn't gonna be able to get that one out.
I know we were in the playoffs for it was my final year when I was playing soccer before I went away to college, and I got hit. If you guys don't know, my knee, I have a really bad knee from playing soccer because I got hurt so many times. But we were
Benning's
in,
at the podium now to make the pick
yeah,
for
we were in the
the
conference.
Canucks.
We were in our finals, and I just got hurt so bad. Now they're picking. Who do they pick? Mix of cheers and booze.
It was a good pick. They took Virtanen from the Calgary Hitmen.
Okay.
That was a good call. Yeah.
Who's going to be picked next, Dave? You seem to know these things.
Well, okay, I only said Virtanen because Virtanen because other Canucks fans were saying that on our hockey, so I was just going with that.
Who's next? Come on, keep it going. Who's next?
Let's see, who is picking next? Carolina.
Now I heard earlier today that Carolina was possibly shopping Eric Stahl, that is, to Nashville.
They can't break up the stalls. That's not allowed.
Well,
They have to get
the
Mark
thing
Stahl
is
and finish the
that
collection.
unless they want to shop both of them, but I doubt that's going to happen because Nashville's already overloaded at center. But Peter Laviolette,
Laviolette, yeah.
he's coaching there, and he coached him in Carolina. So
Yeah. But that could be a bad thing because with Peter Laviolette, the reason he gets fired is because he loses the players. It's not because
That's
he's
true.
a bad coach. And if you already lost the players, you don't really gain a player back. I mean, yeah, it's years down the road now, but you still have the memory of how he was acting towards the end of his time with you. So who knows if him going to Nashville would have been a good thing.
I'm going to say that the Hurricanes take Nylander.
So this Virtanen guy, I'm reading right now, won the 30-meter sprint backward and forward at the CHL Top Prospects game.
I mean,
This
looking
guy
at it,
fly.
looking at this dude, it looks like he's just going to be a pure goal scorer. The only guy that's really like that for the Canucks I can think of is just Daniel Sedin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's good.
That's currently on their roster. I mean, I guess. Actually, I don't even.
I mean,
know.
they have Shinkarik in their system right now. They're shopping him around, and his development got stopped just because he got injured last season. We also have Bo Horvat. Now they have Virtanen. So I mean, they're looking pretty good so far, I think.
Gamboa is here, everybody.
Yes.
David Gamboa, welcome.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good so far. Tuning in. Seeing picks have already happened. Ekblad went first. That's exciting.
Yeah. So how's it feel to not have a first-round pick?
Normal. Because we don't pick them well anyways.
Do you feel it was worth it though to have a shot at the cup?
Yeah, I think so. Even though I don't know right now, because by the looks of it, by certain things that are happening, it looks like we may be completely, basically blowing up the team. Right, as of right now, how it stands, our entire fourth line is gone. Because Boyle's going to test free agency. We haven't made any moves on Dominic Moore, and Dorsett's gone. So essentially, our whole fourth line is done.
And they were really good for you this year.
Yeah, they were one of our best fourth lines in a long time. So I don't know. It was worth it, I guess, for the cup, but I don't know how much it's worth it if we're going to be blowing up this team and not having a chance at the cup this coming season.
I mean, how much do you got? You guys have a lot of cap space, though. Almost $24 million in cap
Especially
space.
Richards coming off the books, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
but you
that's-
guys only have 5 signed forwards.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So we have to Kreider, Brassard. We have to re-sign a lot of people, and also we're looking to basically put that money from Richards into a second line center if we can. Even though now we're out of the running for Stastny, I think supposedly because he's just too much for what we can afford. So I don't know what we're gonna do now.
Too much more you can afford. You guys have $23 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, he does. He's reported he wants like 6.6 million. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna want like a 5-year deal too, at least.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And how old is Stasny?
He's 28.
Oh. So, that 5-year deal is.
Honestly, he was younger than I thought he was because I thought he was 31.
I thought he was. I
Yeah.
actually thought he was younger because of what team he was on. I always feel like that team is younger than I think.
Well, I mean, they are a decently
Yeah.
young team because Hayduk retired last year, and I mean, I think he was one of the older ones. Wow, they just showed a goal from Rattanen, and he is quite the shot.
Oh, that just snipes that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this kid seems to have a lot of skill.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. I mean, going
Yeah.
6th is obviously no scrub, but
If he can shoot like that in the NHL, he is going to be a powerhouse.
Oh yeah.
So.
On TSN's ranking, they have Hayden Fleury. He's a defenseman playing in Red Deer. They have him on 8th right now for the rankings. I could see him dropping, to be honest.
Yeah. Same.
yeah, I got him ranked 12th where I'm looking right now. I got Nick Ritchie ranked next.
Well, I was right on the last pick, so I'm going to be right on this one, obviously. But yeah, I think Nylander goals.
You haven't been wrong so far.
I do too,
so.
actually. I think Nylander's the most skilled player of the ones right now. And when you look at Carolina, obviously they already have depth at center, so they need some wingers right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Jeff Skinner's a right wing, right?
No, they have him with
Left wing. Well, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because they have Semin on the right.
They need a right winger though, so
Yeah. They might not take
I'd say they need left wing more than they need right, to be honest with you. I mean, they're not really terribly deep at either position, but
Let's see what their depth chart is.
well, they have Gerbe and Skinner at oh yeah, I guess they
Ah.
they need help everywhere.
That's really what it comes down to it as.
The next Sabres.
Jim Rutherland left them in some bad shape.
Oh yeah.
I was with Pittsburgh and it makes me happy.
wow.
Were you wrong?
Yeah, they took Hayden Fleury. They took a defenseman.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I was not
Wow.
expecting that.
They don't have like true defensemen, I guess, really.
Well, they have Justin Falk.
Justin Falk, yeah, I was gonna
I mean,
say.
they have Lilias.
Lyles.
On Michael Lyles.
Yeah. And Rod
Lyles,
Hainsey.
Ron
Hainsey's not too bad.
Andre
Sakira's not too
Sakura,
bad.
Jay Harrison, Ryan Murphy. That was kind of out of left field, to be honest with you.
What's
I
weird
would-
to me is like in their system, they have more defensemen in the minors and like in their system than they do anything but winger left wings. So
Yeah, I think they should have. Yeah, they should have taken a winger. What are you doing?
I don't know why they take him. Why do they don't need a defensive
maybe they
unless
just
they're-
really love him. I mean, a lot of times you just take the best available position, but I don't feel like that was.
the right choice for them.
If they didn't, once again, this is hockey. It comes down to is he going to make an impact right now? If not, then you draft the who you think will be better down the road.
Yep.
I guess
I don't think this is a bad pick, honestly. I really don't. I just think
I don't
that
think it's a bad
Well,
pick.
it's
I
bad,
just
but I
think
think
they
it-
could have done a little bit better.
Yeah, I think they could have picked a little better.
I mean, picking this high up is never really a bad pick, unless you pick Daigle. But
I don't know. We drafted Thomas Hickey one year at number 4.
I don't even want to talk about all the Rangers' first round picks.
so how did that? You guys weren't you one of the teams that fucked up the 2003 draft?
The Kings
Yeah.
were, yes. Thank you.
So
We could have
bad.
had Corey Perry. Thank
I
you.
was
We
talking-
could have had Shea Weber.
I was
Thank
talking
you.
about the Rangers, not you, LA Kings Dave.
We had 3 picks in the first round. We had more picks in the first round of the best draft of all time, and we got Dustin Brown out of it.
I mean,
That's it.
no, technically you got also Mike Richards and Jeff Carter out of it too.
Yeah, we didn't get them that draft though.
We did, yeah. We had 2 first round
Yeah,
picks.
we
We pretty much hit a home run.
We
Yeah,
got
looking
Hugh
at the
Jessup.
Rangers-
We missed out on everyone.
It's pretty shitty. No offense.
Oh no, yeah, we've been terrible for a long time. The only real successes were Stepan, Ryan Callahan, and that's just about
Chris
it.
Kreider.
And Kreider. Now, even though he wasn't expected to be really all this good, I mean, yeah, he was first pick,
Dale
but
Weiss,
he
you
wasn't.
drafted, but he's
But,
not.
well,
He didn't do well for you necessarily.
Yeah, no. I wonder if that has that has precedence in the fact that we are a big market, and so to play with us, especially as a prospect, it's kind of like playing in Toronto, where there's a lot of pressure on you. So I wonder if that has any kind of effect on our first rounders and whatnot, where there's all this pressure, and perhaps our players can't handle it, because there are a lot of players that we've drafted that are now good on their current team or team that we traded them to, but with us they just could never shine.
Then you guys are picking the wrong players because the Philadelphia is a huge market too. I mean,
Exactly.
the city's not as big as the Rangers, but we picked a lot of good forwards. Our
Yeah.
defensive drafting is horrible. Our goaltending drafting is horrible. But if you look at our forwards we've drafted over the years, we picked some really good ones, especially in the first round.
Oh yeah.
So,
Guys, obviously this is going to be a scrutinized pick more than most, but who do you guys think is going to Toronto next?
who's rated last in the rankings?
I want to say Nylander, but
I want to say Nylander too.
I'm going with Ryan Mantha. He's rated 60th on Craig's list. Craig Button's list.
I was gonna say they just mentioned Ehlers on TSN. I could see him going as well.
But then really, it's probably gonna be Ehlers or maybe Sanheim. Travis Sanheim could go.
Let's see.
We'll see. We're going up there now.
That jersey looks way too big on that kid. It
Oh,
looks
yeah.
like a jacket on him.
It really is.
Oh jeez. Look at those sleeves. He's trying to tuck it in.
Yeah. It's like the chest logo is bigger than his head.
Booze and cheering at the same time.
Took Nylander.
Yep.
Did they?
Yeah, took Nylander.
Okay,
That's
now-
no surprise.
now
I think a
he's
lot of
doing
people
it.
picked him to go here.
I guess my
Yeah.
pick was wrong. He didn't go for the last place person.
I think this is a good pick.
Yeah.
I like it.
Gonna help him out, yeah.
Second European to go, but the first one that plays primarily in Europe. Obviously,
years do you think-
Toronto
Sorry.
had the best Swedish forward of all time on their team in Mats Sundin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
And I think that he looks like a guy that Randy Carlisle would like.
Yeah, so, but who knows if that's gonna matter after a little bit. Oh, they don't have that many people on their roster, do they? They're definitely weak at left wing. Toronto.
Yeah.
Well, Maple
Oh, yeah.
Leafs are kind of weak in a lot of places. No offense.
Yeah. I mean, they only have 2 signed left wingers right now, so.
Yeah. Well, and they have signed guys in the minors, but
But who knows how good they are. And again, you never know how good a player is until he hits the NHL.
I was gonna say they look really rough on right wing once you get outside of Kessel.
David Clarkson.
I can't believe they're
Clarkson,
thinking
Cole
of trading
Nolan, Carter
JVR.
Ashton.
Jeez.
Look at that kid's flow. Such a nice flow.
What a Swede.
Yeah.
that's some Swede flow right there. That kid looks like he's 12.
Oh my god, he does.
Oh wow. How old is he?
He's like 17, 18.
He was
17 or
born
18.
in '96.
Oh, okay.
God damn it.
96.
Yeah.
4 years from now, the people that are born in 2000 will be drafted.
I was in high school when he was born.
I was 6 years old.
96,
I was
I was
3.
5. I was 5. How's that make you feel, Dave? LA Kings Dave.
I hate you.
You were in high school. We were all like 5.
I was
Whatever.
3. I wasn't even in school yet.
I was in first grade. First grade. Is that how old you have to be in first grade? 5?
Yeah. No, kindergarten probably.
Kindergarten. Okay. Kindergarten, first grade, somewhere involved there. I hadn't even
Somewhere
lost
there.
my first tooth yet. That's all I know.
I
So
don't even know if I had to.
At 3? I would hope you would.
I feel like I would.
I hope you would by 3, Dave.
I think that'd be
I hate
important.
I hate all of
It'll help a
you.
little bit to eat my tacos.
Hey, you're the one that hangs out with us on the podcast.
With what?
You're the one that
It's
hangs
true.
out with a bunch of the young kids on the podcast.
Whatever.
You're forcing this on yourself.
I've been on Reddit for a lot longer than you guys. You guys all joined, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm already here." Hey.
Yeah. So.
I don't
Do you
really
guys see
care.
any
when it comes to hockey or other activities, like
No
if you
way.
have
James Neal just got traded to Nashville.
What?
Yes. Drieger just broke that. I am looking. Let me look on our
What?
hockey, see if there's. Yeah.
What?
No fucking way. No
Oh, wow.
fucking way.
I
Yep,
gotta know
I
the
see it on
details.
Twitter.
I have to know the
I saw it
details
on
of this.
Reddit.
That is
Yeah,
wow.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
What did they-
Wow.
What did they get? That makes no sense.
Is it on NHL.com yet?
No, Drager dropped it. No.
They're gonna have to walk up to the podium first.
Oh, let's see.
He's gonna have to walk up to the podium.
Patrick Hornquist and Nick Spaulding, according to Nashville Predators.
Jeez.
Wow.
What? Wow, that's.
James Neal cannot leave. We're supposed to hate him on Pittsburgh. Well, at least now he's in the other division.
That
Other
gives
conference.
I wonder with Neal because he didn't really find some success, and I mean he had a 30-goal season in Dallas, but at the same time too, a lot of his success in Pittsburgh could be credited to playing with a player like Malkin. He's not going to have that in Nashville.
Yeah, no.
Mhm.
It's really interesting. that
So
trade.
I'm wondering.
Why would Pittsburgh do this?
I don't.
I-
That's what I'm wondering.
He probably wouldn't change his ways like Matt Cook did. Tried to.
So he's going to get less he's going to get less national media coverage
And not
on
getting
how
a
much
cup.
his knees do damage to people. So therefore, Nashville feels they won't get suspended. I don't get this. Like, that Nashville, no offense. I mean, Patrick Hornquist is not a bad player, but,
He's not.
wow.
I mean,
I don't understand this trade in general. I just don't
well, I
get
can
for both
understand
sides.
it.
I don't
I
see.
can understand it for Nashville just because they need that kind of player.
Mhm.
They
But
need that. They need that score.
Already updated their shit, and now James Neal's on there. All right. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Nashville needs a score, like a pure scorer, and I don't know how pure James Neal is in the scoring department, but he's obviously offensively talented.
Nick
has a
Spaulding's a
shot, that's
restricted
it.
free agent right now, so they got to sign him, too.
Oh, this is
And that is, and you know what? Looking at their depth chart, Nashville, this is their only real decent
player.
right wing. They don't really
Yeah.
have right wingers. Yeah.
No. They have a ton of centers, but that's fine. I mean, they got a winger.
wonder how Janeta's
Oh, wow.
doing this.
Oh, man.
this is what she gets for all the Matt Cook jokes she's made to me.
I
so-
know.
That's,
Aren't they
there
in
you
the same
go.
division now? James Neal and Matt Cook are in the same division.
Oh my God, I am.
They will be
it's-
destroying this division one head at a time.
Watch them hit each other, and one's going to wreck the other's knee while the other's going to concuss him.
and they're both in each other's careers.
Yeah.
Who are the Jets gonna pick?
I'm gonna say Ehlers. Nikolai
I say
Ehlers.
Nick Ritchie.
I kind of like Richie as well.
I've already missed it.
I totally called it Ehlers.
Ehlers?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Ehlers.
man.
Yeah, they took him.
Well done.
Yeah.
What's up?
So Nick Ritchie's going to be dropping here quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Well, I love your tweet, Gamboa.
Yeah.
Well, Janetta is literally James Neal now.
Jeffler just sent a tweet that said James Neal went from being a predator with his body to wearing a predator on his chest.
Oh man, I need to find
Oh.
that. That's gold.
Wow. Pittsburgh fans have got to be hating Jim Rutherford already.
Oh my god, I
Oh
know.
yeah.
This is so perfect. I'm loving.
Next up, trade Malkin.
I'm loving him right now. I just gotta say, best choice ever.
Oh my god. They just can't like that trade just came out of nowhere.
I know.
Yeah.
'Cause where's okay, he's got a 4.25 cap hit. That's not because isn't Neil's making 5, I think, so it's not too
Neil's
bad.
up at is it 5?
So back to this draft
Yeah,
pick,
5.
Ellers was CHL Rookie
man.
of the Year
Oh
and
wow.
had a draft high 49 goals.
Isn't the CHL kind of weak though?
A little bit.
Yeah. So.
I think obviously
Still,
OHL is probably the best, but I don't know. CHL and WHL are both kind of even.
Okay. So.
He's a big kid height wise, but he's good. Like they're saying, he's got speed. That'll be good for the Jets.
Good
That'll
winger.
make sense for the Jets. The Jets need to be fast. It's kind of part of their name.
Yep.
I mean, coming from the guy who's a fan of the Flyers, and they certainly do not fly down the ice.
No.
We are certainly not wild.
Well, you have Matt Cook.
Oh God, don't remind
That's
me.
true.
So
is true.
Ellers though has been playing with Druin all year, so I'm going to say though that that's gotta have helped
has
his
to have
numbers a
something to do
little
with
bit.
That has a lot to do with it.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely padding his
Wow.
stats.
He got a lot of 5 out of 5s on his scouting report.
Yeah, I know everyone's saying he's really fast. So
The only 4 out of 5 he got is on
speed,
shot.
and he's got. He doesn't really have size. He's 5'11". No offense to anybody that's
Here's
short,
the
but
trade.
Yeah. Just announced a trade. Wow. I still can't believe that.
Nick Spaulding and Patrick Hornquist. Wow. They just lost one of their best shots on their team. And that's all James Neal can do is shoot the puck. But they just lost one of the best shots on their team. And he has such good chemistry with Malkin.
I know.
So then, what do they do in the off? They've got to do something in the off season. Then they're
They're
probably.
getting.
That's,
I mean, they're getting
what are they
depth.
gonna do? I heard that they're gonna lose Niskanen and Jokinen as well.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's falling
Only Jokinen's
apart.
for
What
sure,
is going on here?
UC Jokinen. Dave, UC Jokinen, not Ollie.
You see, oh, sorry about that. Yeah.
I mean, wow. Look, they have like no left and right wingers right now.
They still don't have a coach
They have
either, right?
No, they hired a.
Oh, no, they did get a coach. Sorry, I'm thinking of somebody else.
Yeah. I don't even know how good their coach is.
Nobody
I heard
does.
he's okay, but he's probably gonna only be here for 2 or 3 years until the new GM takes over and fires him. Because Rutherford's only gonna be there for a couple years.
He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna destroy this.
I hope he forces them into a rebuild.
Wow, they have no right wingers or left wingers.
I
It's
mean, their left
amazing.
wingers are Chris Kunitz and Bo
and
Bennett.
Bo Bennett, but
Their
that's
right
and then their
wingers
right
are now
wingers.
Hornquist and Pascal Dupree.
Wow.
Sorry.
Well, you got 2 lines.
So we got the Ducks up next at number 10 in a pick that they got from Ottawa for Bobby Ryan.
I'm going to say they take Kapanen. Kasperi Kapanen.
I was thinking the same thing too, although
What are they?
Richie's dropped this far already. I'm wondering if they're going to take Kapanen as a winger, if
Yeah,
they
that's
might
a-
not take Richie.
They're not
Because,
terribly
I mean, Kapanen is obviously Finnish. I mean, maybe Solani would still be a part of the team, so that would be cool for them.
They need more left wing than they need right wingers, so perhaps.
Kapanen plays both wings.
So I'm guessing they'll take Kapanen. Or yeah, I'd say Richie. I mean, it has to be Richie or Kapanen in my opinion, but they definitely need left wing more than right wing.
It's how the Jets talking about the Flyers. You guys made me miss it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Whatever. So yeah, I gotta agree with you guys on who they're taking. So I'm thinking it's gonna be Kapanen. As much as I want him to drop to 17, I'm probably gonna be taking Kapanen.
I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, Kapanen, in a lot of people's eyes, is potential top 10. He's right around there anyway. But so many people had Richie ranked high. I'm wondering why he's dropping as he is. I mean, no, he hasn't dropped that far yet because we're only at pick 10, but...
On ISS, he's ranked 10, so...
Craig Button has him at 16.
He's all over the place. I feel like he's just...
He's not really consistent.
He probably has something that they're not liking.
Yeah.
He's a big kid, too. He's 6'2", 218.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, and then they play in the Pacific. That's kind of why I'm thinking they might go Richie. Because the Kings are the biggest team in the league. San Jose's big. Vancouver has some big guys.
Well, he's not going to get any taller, obviously, but you can bulk him up. So.
Well, the thing is that Richie's listed as 226 on because I'm on ISS.
He's 6'2", 225, yeah.
And Kapanen's 181. I mean, you're not going to get Kapanen up to Richie's weight.
Yeah, that's 50-pound difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's going to slow him so much down if you try to get him up to that weight.
You can do it. Just give him a bunch of cheeseburgers.
Well, he's in Philadelphia. Give him cheesesteaks.
Yeah, see, there you go. Get him started already.
He's made up a lot.
I'm wondering if the Finnish connection's going to do this, though.
Can I go
That's
2 for
definitely
2?
There's always Brandon Perlini as well. He's 6'3", 205.
Good call there, Dave. Good call.
All right.
Yep.
God, he's got a greasy mustache, too, in his picture that they have.
Who does? The GM?
No, Nick Ritchie. I'm looking at TSN's draft rankings. He's got the super greasy mustache.
And it looks like he shaved it now.
He's chunky. Kind of reminds me of when Doughty was drafted. Dude's going to have to get in the fitness routine of the NHL.
Yeah.
He's got size, obviously. And like I was saying earlier, and you can't teach size.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this. So if they get him in the good shape, this kid's going to be a beast.
I mean, he could just try to be Bufflin.
True.
Yeah, but Bufflin isn't even what Bufflin used to be because he needs to get in shape too.
He needs to he needs to be on a team he cares about, basically.
Yeah, that might be true too.
I think that's his big problem. He doesn't care what team he's on, what the team he's on right now. He'd rather not be there, so he's trying to make himself as horrible as possible to get traded. Though no one wants him because of how bad he looks.
Yeah, I don't really like this pick as a Kings fan. I think this kid Richie is going to fit in very nicely for the Ducks and the Western Conference.
Can we just talk about how gorgeous those away jerseys are?
They are pretty. They are pretty.
I don't know. I'm kind of...
The new jerseys for the Ducks?
Yeah.
I like the away ones a lot.
I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel. I kind of don't like them, to be honest with you.
I've never really liked the Ducks jerseys. I like the old Mighty Ducks ones, but I get why they went with the orange because we're in Orange County. But I just I feel like the Ducks jerseys have too much going on where it's not necessarily good going on.
Wait, we wear orange, or the Ducks wear orange because of Orange County? It all
Yes.
makes sense now, and I live here.
You honestly didn't know that?
In Orange County.
Holy
How
crap.
could you not know this?
When they announced their third jerseys a couple of years ago, they said, yeah, we're going with orange because we're in Orange County.
I had no idea.
We just all heard Gamboa's mind get blown.
Jeez,
This makes so much sense. I always wondered why they wore orange. Okay, I feel dumb. That was my ultimate blonde moment on the show.
Gamboa.
My blonde Californian moment.
Well then.
Everyone has moments on this show where they're just like, wow, I can't believe I didn't realize that. Or they said something that was just hilarious. Like when Minnesota Dave confused Mitch Hedberg and Jonas Hedberg.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was hilarious.
I don't remember this, but, you know.
I can find the video and play it for you.
No, I'm good.
So.
Next we got Nashville, and a lot of people picked Nashville to take a winger, but obviously they just grabbed a winger in a draft. So
now this is open here. I mean,
they got a huge right winger making $5 million a year. He's now
They need another winger though on right
he's now
wing.
their highest paid forward, by the way.
Jeez.
Wow.
And they have Mike Fisher centering them. I don't think that you're going to find an NHL-ready center as it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people still speculating Nashville might make a play for a center.
Get Vinny, please. Thank you.
But looking at they have a ton of centers either technically on their team or in development. So they got tons of second, third, fourth line centers. I don't think that they're going to play. I don't think that they're going to make a play out of center here anyway, because there's nobody NHL ready. If they want to do that, then they're going to make a trade for a center. So I think that they're going to end up drafting another winger here anyway.
I think they take I keep saying him just because he's right here. Yeah, I think they take Kapanen. But in true Poyle fashion, I'm pretty sure he's going to take defense.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen.
No. They took Seth Jones last year. You already have your cornerstone and you have your,
Dave, I was making a joke.
Jedi Master and your Padawan.
Dave, I was making a joke.
Okay, sorry.
As for their, I don't think.
But you had to at least like my analogy. Anyway,
yeah, they're not going to pick a center because they have Philip Forsberg there.
They have so many centers.
Philip Forsberg, I feel, is going to be their center of the future.
Colin Wilson will be good. Callie Yonkro will be good.
They have so many centers. It's ridiculous.
And they're not bad centers.
They can literally outfit like half the league with third-line centers.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe that their first-line center is Mike Fisher. That guy should never play first-line center for any
I know. They have so many centers, and they have Mike Fisher playing their first center.
He's a good player. I don't want to talk that much shit on him. He really is a good player for what his role is. He should not be playing first-line center for any team.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Mike Fisher, that's Mr. Carrie Underwood, right?
Yeah. And he's very happy there, by the way. They will never let him go.
I mean, he doesn't want to go because, his wife lives down there, and I don't know if you've ever seen Carrie Underwood, but I wouldn't want to leave her at all.
Yeah, I think he's done okay for himself. And Mike Fisher's a good-looking dude, too. I think that, for both perspective, it's like she's banging a professional athlete. Like,
Booze, I love it.
I'm picking Perlini right here, by the way.
Fiala.
Ooh, wow.
That was
that was a little off the board, but
Of the blue.
Who did he pick?
Kevin Fiala. He's playing in Sweden.
He's 22nd on Craig's list. Really?
Wow.
I mean, they picked a right wing, which we thought
that's
they would.
the first major surprise of this draft, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a right wing, and they need a right wing, so it makes sense.
It's very true.
Even though if you're going to go right wing, why not go Kapanen? Or who else?
Some people don't even have him ranked in their top 30.
Oh, really?
How good is he defensively? That could be the key to it.
I don't think they care what the defensemen they already have.
It's Nashville. They always care about defense. Yeah, he's not even ranked in the top 10 prospects, is he?
Well, they're not in the top 10 anymore.
He's third European ranked.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I gotta get going.
All right, Dave.
See you later, Birdbag.
You have fun tonight.
Score some goals.
Yeah, I'll try.
Score one for me, Dave. And he laughed before I even heard that.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, me, him, me.
Oh, he already left.
Yeah.
I was going to ask him who he thought that Minnesota was going to pick before he left.
Oh, why did he leave right before Minnesota?
Huh?
He left right before Minnesota pick?
No, but they're picking 18th. I was wondering who he thought that they're going to go after.
Yeah, they're ranked
By
after.
the time he gets back, they're going to be over. So.
Yeah. So they're done around 10, which is 11 Eastern time. We've been at this for an hour and a half now. Wow.
Yeah, this is going to be our longest podcast ever, but it's okay.
No, wow, this is going to be like a 3-hour-long podcast, isn't it?
Whatever.
It's a draft. It's okay.
It's a draft.
I said we were going 5 hours tonight, and I was kind of joking, but you never know.
I have nothing to do tonight. I'm gonna go crack open a beer, and then I can do this. Because fun fact, I actually have not been drinking this entire time.
Yeah, I know. I could go use one too. You go do your thing, and then I'll go do mine.
I have my headphones.
I'll run this show.
I have a headphone set, so I can walk and talk at the same time.
Oh, nice. All right, so Phoenix has the next pick. Obviously, they just lost the center, but it's not going to matter. At this point in the draft, I don't see, barring somebody making a huge impact in training camp, excuse me, not Phoenix, Arizona, I don't see anybody cracking an NHL squad now that we've gone past the top 10.
Yeah.
Maybe
No.
I see a couple guys on this list that people have said have an outside chance. I think Robbie Fabry, some people have said from Gulf Storm. Just some of the other guys. I know a lot of people have been talking about Josh Hosang, but I don't think that he would ever crack an NHL roster at this point.
I don't even know if he's going to crack the first round, to be honest.
I don't either.
I know that a lot of
Maybe-
people have him dropping all the way to win the rate, because I know that a lot of people don't like his attitude, so even people have been talking in the Rangers organization that they'd pick him up if he fell as low as us.
Yeah. I actually think that the guy that I thought Nashville would pick in Brandon Perlini has the size to play in NHL right now at 6'3", 205.
Wow.
But
Jeez.
That's a
I don't
big-
know if he's got the skill to crack it. He might with Coyotes if they take him here, but a lot of people think Coyotes are going defense.
I mean, they have a defensive.
So do they go?
Oh, Capgeek already updated it to Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah. Well, they announced
Yeah.
that today.
Yeah.
But
Do they go
there's-
McCown?
Ooh.
I mean, they're weak on the right wing in their
McKeon,
depth
you said?
chart. So Arizona's
Jared
weak on the
McKeon's
right wing.
center, though. I mean, they could.
They're
Well-
probably going to go right wing. Looking at their depth chart,
Yeah.
they only have 4 players in their entire organization that play right wing.
Yep.
So if that's the case, then I mean, Kevin Fiala, maybe that's why Nashville took him, because he's a right wing and they didn't.
Mhm.
If you're looking for right wings, there's not a lot. Maybe Alex Tuch.
Oh,
What about Jakob Vrana?
That's what I was looking at too. 6 foot, 187.
A lot of
Yeah,
people
that's
have
what
him
I
ranked
looked at.
all over the place.
He's the left-handed shot, which is kind of weird for a right wing. Or well, not really, but
it's off wing. So
yeah,
Everyone's saying he's inconsistent.
yeah.
Oh, I did pick that one.
it was
Nice.
Brandon.
Nice.
Brandon
call.
Perlini.
Ah,
Big guy.
he was ranked 11th in Craig Buttons. So not a
He
bad,
dropped.
not bad pick. 34 goals in 58 games, 37 assists for 71 points. Not that many penalty minutes, only 36.
No, and for a big guy, that's good, especially in junior levels.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of wingers this draft.
Mm-hmm. Oh, where is? I have too many tabs open. I have trouble finding my list. There are a lot of wingers.
I kind of wish they used something other than only 5. I wish they were out of 10, because a lot of these guys get 5s and 4s and whatnot, but at the same time,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Kinda
wish
far
they.
to
maybe if they get the same
who does.
4 out of 5 and whatnot as Ekblad.
Well, there is what is it? Draft prospectives or whatever.
Draft prospects, yeah.
Let's see. I don't think it's Hockey's Future. It's Hockey's Future does, but they don't necessarily update it until after the draft.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Like you can, if you go to hockeysfuture.com, they rank people from 1 to 10, and I like their ranking system. But they don't rank guys until after they've already been drafted. So if you go there,
So it's not
they got draft coverage, but they don't have the guys listed as drafted. So like I just posted a link to Alexander Barkov from last year, and he's like an 8.5. And I think that they do a lot of good in-depth coverage once players get drafted, but up until they're drafted, you don't see a lot from them.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I just posted that to the Twitter so any of our listeners can see what the hell we're talking about.
Capitals are drafting next.
It is the Capitals. I was just looking up who was next. How booed are Capitals gonna be?
How what?
How much booze are they gonna get? Because
Why
they're
would you
kind of
think that
forming
they
into our
would, though?
rivals. They're trying to form into our rivals. Philadelphia. I think they're gonna be booed pretty bad.
I'm really sad that we don't have a first pick. I want to hear us get booed.
Oh, you were booed during the roll call apparently, as everyone else was. But they booed
I'm
even harder
proud of
because you
that.
didn't have a pick. You missed during the roll call. During the roll calls, everybody was booed, and after every single name was announced, the fans yelled "sucks" after every single one. It was hilarious.
That's Philly.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to hate you guys, but I love you guys at the same time.
Everyone loved us for the one moment we were booing Bettman. By moment, I mean for like 30 minutes we were booing Bettman.
I also love you guys because you guys are the exact death. You guys are the kryptonite of Pittsburgh.
No, I think Pittsburgh is becoming the kryptonite of Pittsburgh now.
That is true. Very much true. So who does Washington take? Because they're pretty set everywhere. Maybe a center is the only thing I'm seeing.
Well, they got a
Or
new
a
coach.
goalie.
They've had a decent. I mean, obviously they got decent top 6. Actually, their top 9 isn't that bad, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're probably
Yeah,
gonna draft.
I'm not going to take that back. I'm going to say that they had a terrible season for the talent that they have. I personally think.
yeah.
I mean, first
especially
off, they had Jay
conference.
fucking Beagle as their number 1 center for most of the season.
I don't even know why. Nicholas Backstrom will move to number 1 center again. You have Marcus Johansson, Jay Beagle as your third line.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to get a center that makes an impact right now. I don't know how come nobody talks about them in the talks for Spezza or Stastny. They could use somebody like that. They have their defensemen already locked up. I know that a couple of the Washington fans were talking about Willie Mitchell maybe going there.
Yeah.
But they already have guys locked up. Like either you're going to play your young guys and give them experience, or I don't know why you would bring Willie Mitchell in there, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that I don't think he could play there. It's just he's 37. If I'm Washington and they already have they have 12, 13 different defensemen in their system. They have 4 goalies in their system already. I think they're going winger personally.
But they're pretty well.
Really?
I guess they're technically not deep at wing because they have 4 on each side, basically.
They have a very balanced system. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, if you're just going to go best available,
which is probably what they're going to do. But who's
so
the best
Kapanen?
available?
Not Kapanen. I'm sorry.
Cambry? Campy? No, Travis Statham is still out there.
I'm gonna say they're gonna go Fabry.
I think Fabry would be the best bet. I think he's the best out there still. One of the best.
Sonny Milano, a lot of people saying is pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Fabry or Kapanen.
What pick number is this again? Is this 11th?
12th? I think it's 11. I think. Yeah. Or no, it's 13.
13th. We're almost halfway through.
I'm just happy that Devils are last.
Mm-hmm.
Only that would happen in the
I
standings.
don't think they should have gotten their pick back.
Oh yeah, no.
They broke the rules, and they should have to have dealt with that no matter what.
Exactly. That's what I think too. It's
Yeah, for some reason, I blanked for a second. I thought Kapanen was taken. I think it's going to be Kapanen too, or Fabry.
Yeah. I think those two make the most sense.
Oh!
Oh, wow.
Jacob Vrana. That's a guy that I was saying earlier, all over the board.
Yeah.
All over the board.
He's 21st on ISS. I don't even know where he
23rd
is
and Craig
on.
Huttons.
I don't know where he is in
There's-
Mackenzie's. He's definitely
Let's see.
he's not in the top
I see
15.
him. I have a list of like 10 different rankings. And he is 17, 22, 21, 16,
So basically, they
11. It's
they
like
reach for him.
So he
25. He's just all over the place.
So he
reached
actually
for
moved
him,
up.
basically.
Interesting.
He moved up like what, a good 9 or 10 places now.
Everyone
Yeah.
says he's inconsistent. If Barry
He's
Trotz thinks he
19th.
can work him.
He's 19th on Mackenzie's.
That is very surprising. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, he pans out for them.
It's an interesting pick, though. I mean, to be fair, though, it's like I think that they're going to go more free agency, and they're just picking for the future as well, not so much now, like Dave said. So
Yeah. But who would they
Again,
get
it's
for free
still-
agency though, besides Willie Mitchell? If they go for it,
everyone,
think they're gonna go for Ribeiro? Try to go Ribeiro again?
maybe. I don't know if they'd want him
'Cause
back, but
he did pretty well for them, didn't he?
good enough until he got traded. But
Yeah.
I don't know because they're pretty solid. I think they need a center more than anything. I definitely see them in the talks for Stastny or Spezza.
Mhm.
This is, I think, a high risk, high reward kind of move.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You got a new GM here too, so we'll
New
see.
GM, new coach. Basically, new everything.
The whole new front office is basically new.
Yeah. So. I wonder who they're going to go with as their backup goaltender this year.
Probably
I don't know.
Grubauer, I'm guessing.
Well, Phoenix
Yeah, I think
Copley's
Grubauer will
making
be their
more money
backup.
right now.
Was that Dave?
True. Yeah, Copley is making more money, but Grubauer is a lot better, in my opinion, at least. But I don't know. I haven't seen Phoenix or Copley play up in the NHL yet, so who knows? It'll probably come down to between Copley and Grubauer at training camp.
Mhm. So,
We got Dallas next.
we're finally into the. Are we finally into the playoff teams now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That went fast.
They have depth at center, or not center, goalie with Yuri Letnin and Jack Campbell. Actually,
He's gonna be
center, they're
amazing.
not too bad.
Yeah, the center's not that bad at all. Sagan.
And they have Radek
Kucherov.
Faksa.
They can use some help on the left wing.
So
Yeah.
they have a pretty good thing in the pipeline. So I'm not sure how good those players are.
I'm going to say that they're going to take February. He can play center or left wing.
And before they're taking Kapanen. Taking
All
Kapanen.
right. I'll be back in 1 second.
I'm gonna go crazy off the board and say McCown.
I mean, I
don't
would
think
say
they-
they're going to take Ryan Mantha because he's 60th overall, but the Dallas Stars aren't that stupid.
Exactly.
I think I'm pretty sure only
Let's see.
Toronto is the one I would actually make that work.
Yeah.
But I see Kapanen going here. I think they're going to like that. He's able to
Yeah,
jump back and forth. He plays the type of game I think they want with the speed. Because his father was pretty fast, so he's probably going to be pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah, really what they need is more than anything a left wing. I could see them maybe going defender too, just because I don't really see any of these.
Honka.
Wow.
Julius Honka. Wow.
That-
No one said that. He went to
That was not expected at all. I thought they'd go defenseman personally. That's why
Yeah,
I
they
said
do need
McCown.
They do need defense.
And I don't think they need so
Forgot
much.
about that.
I don't know if they need defense, but I think they need a guy who's potentially going to be a top 6 defenseman because I don't see in their depth. I don't see anyone that's going to turn into a top 6 defender.
Yeah, they're weak on defense. I think that was what everyone was saying. Their biggest like they're just not a deep team technically after their first line on forwards, but their defense is even worse. I mean, your top defenseman is Sergei Gonchar, who not a bad defenseman, but old. He's pretty old there. Alex Galinowski, I can't even say that last name.
Wow, they went a little bit off the board, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they'd go defenseman, and I went with McCown. I thought they'd maybe go McCown because he's not so much similar, but they're kind of similar. But yeah, they went really off the board.
Well, I don't think really off the board, but just he's a 5'10" defenseman, which
5'10", 5'11", yeah. Only 178 pounds, which is small.
Well, he was 20th on Mackenzie's list, so he had 56 points and 62 games.
I think he can skate. He's extremely mobile.
Yes, he got 16 goals, which isn't bad for a defenseman whatsoever.
Yeah. 40 plus 10.
40 assists. Wow.
TSN just said he was the youngest player on the Finnish team that won the juniors. So.
Interesting.
Obviously, he's smart and he can skate. Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering, when you're in the Pacific, or not Pacific, but Western Conference, I don't know how well small defensemen hold up.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So the Red Wings are up next. Which Swede is going to be taken?
Which Swede is going to be taken?
Yeah.
David Pastrick. If I got to pick a Swede.
Adrian Kempe. He's a Swede, isn't he? Adrian?
I actually think that they're going to take Fabry, but if we're going to pick Swedes, I'm taking David Pastrick. Pastrnak.
They need Swedes on their team. Isn't that what their team is like built off of? They like drain the juices of all the Sweden to make a team.
It's basically so they all feel like they're at home when they're in the locker room.
Adrian Kempe is who I'm picking. He is 6'1", so not a slouch. What does he play again?
Yeah, because their goalie situation is set. Well, yeah, because they have Peter Mrazek in their depth, so he's good. Maybe a left wing, so yeah. Yeah, because their right wing is pretty fine.
They're pretty good on both sides, actually.
Yeah, they're not terrible. The only place I could see maybe wanting to improve is maybe left wing, but
yeah, left wing is slightly. I guess you consider left wing kind of shallow, but they have a really good stock of players on their team.
Oh yeah.
So. I mean, they only have they only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left wings in their system, it seems.
Yeah, and I don't know how good the kids are, the ones in the minors, but I mean Sheehan Riley, Nyquist, Miller, and Zetterberg. How old is Miller? Isn't he pretty old? Or is he young? I don't know.
I'll look it up.
Let's see.
Miller is.
Oh yeah, Miller's 30.
He's not young. He's not old though. He's at that middle age.
Yeah. He's only signed through 2016.
So. Silver Fox. We'll see what happens there.
They're stuck with Stefan Weiss for till 2018. Rarely does Detroit make a bad move, but that right there.
Mm-hmm.
That right there was not.
They have a history of amazing moves. They're allowed to make one bad one.
Yeah. Even though that is your second line center, but.
Yeah. You never know what could come later.
Yeah, they have a really good core. I'm scared of them in the future.
Yeah, at least they're not in our division.
True.
Just like I'm more scared of Buffalo when it comes to our conference.
Oh yeah. Buffalo in 3 years is going to be amazing.
Wild.
You guys want to get a Detroit guy in here right now and talk about it a little bit?
Sure.
You got Chris Lemieux. Send Chris Lemieux an invite because he's always willing to talk about the Red Wings.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to hear about the pick.
For some reason, my Skype just opened up. I didn't even click that. Christopher Lemieux. Sent. That's if he's paying attention. And then there's... Not sure if he's going to come in or not. Oh, wow.
You send him an invite?
Yeah, I did. They traded. They got Larkin.
Wow.
Oh, where is he ranked? 21st, Dylan Larkin.
Center.
Center.
I did not expect a center.
Not at all.
For some reason, I couldn't hear it on the feed. Who was it? Oh, Dylan Larkin. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The first American player to be selected. He didn't. He only stepped up a little bit where he was at. So.
Yeah, Chris is in here now. How you doing, Chris?
Hey, Chris.
Hey there, how's everyone
You're
doing?
on a
Detroit just
podcast now.
picked, so we were
I know.
trying to get a Detroit insider pick.
Yep, it
viewpoint
is.
here.
Sorry, I'm trying to get his name just so I don't.
Dylan Larkin, first
Dylan
American
Dylan
pick
Larkin.
in this
He's from
draft.
Waterford. He's from Waterford. From what I understand, he's going to the University of Michigan. So I really can't hate on him too much. I can't really hate on Michigan too much, which kind of disappoints me because I'm a Notre Dame fan. That said, I need to look up where he is. I want to say he's USHL, but I'm
Yes.
From the U.S.
Yes, he is. Yeah, I'm just kind of pulling up all my mock stuff. Actually, what is it, the SB Nation blog, Winging in Motown? They had him taking some guy named Touch, 15.
Yeah.
He's
is still projected to go possibly 18th to.
but as Bob McKenzie said, it kind of gets a little murky around this time of year. They're showing his stats right now, so I'm just kind of catching up on him. I was not actually prepared for Larkin. I was kind of looking more at Touch or Took or however you say it.
I was looking at Kempery for you guys because you seem kind of weak on left wing.
Yeah,
Well,
if there's
rated
anything.
pretty high up.
Well,
I
as it
think
is,
that you're getting a guy. If he's going to Michigan, then he's going to be in your backyard anyway. So
Yeah,
it's a
that's
good
true. It's easy to
development for the Red Wings, and I kind of like the pick if he's already committed to going there, because I think that if you're not going directly to the NHL, I actually think NCAA sometimes is better than staying in juniors personally, just because you play against older guys. But
I'll say this much as a college hockey fan. Yes, the NCAA has made huge leaps and bounds, especially in Division One, to really prepare guys for the NHL. You saw a lot of it last year. This last season, we had a lot of hype with guys like Shane Gostabert for Philadelphia and Johnny Gaudreau for Boston College's Johnny Gaudreau for Calgary, and then like pretty much everyone on North Dakota and Minnesota squads. The Frozen Four this last season, which is a monster showcase of talent.
Oh God!
Yeah.
University of Michigan's
so much talent.
Yeah, University of Michigan has had kind of a bit of a stumbling season, but the new Big Ten college hockey conference really picking up where the CCHA kind of left off. You know, he'll be playing against some really good competition there. Michigan State, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Just it's a really good league, just really starting up, and hopefully getting more big name universities involved with college hocky. Michigan definitely is. I'm trying to find out what junior team he played with. If he played on, I think he played. If I want to say he played for the.
Dylan Larkin?
Yeah, Dylan Larkin. I'm still trying to find his
the U.S. National Development Team.
Yes,
and
so they're
he also played for the Bell Tire under 16. So
yeah, I had heard about the Bell Tire, and actually I think Tuch was in the same thing. Good to note the development team is also in Ann Arbor as well. So he's pretty much been grown up backyard, and what from what I understand, he wanted the Red Wings to take him as it is. So it's a solid pick, and with anything the Red Wings take, they are going to be cooked longer than gumbo.
Next pick's coming up right now with Columbus.
Yeah, let's see.
See what they're going to take. I wouldn't be surprised if they take another U.S. product here.
Arena in Columbus. Speaking of Columbus, everyone here is welcome.
This guy looks a lot like Joe Quenneville. I almost thought it was him for a second.
Me too.
Actually, hold on a second. I'll tell you a funny story about this.
Yeah.
head amateur scout, really serious.
After he makes his pick.
They had to pick a second guy to make the pick. What?
This is why I'm saying the commissioner should just make all the picks, like every other league out there.
Nah, I kind of like this better.
They picked Sonny Milano.
I just like efficiency.
Oh,
Sonny.
okay, that's what I thought. They were.
Nice.
Funny story. Okay, so when I was at the draft in Los Angeles 3 years ago, I walked up to Davidson here, the guy that just was talking, that you said looked like Joel Quinville. I'm like, can I get your autograph, Joel? And like, I'm not Joel. I was like, fuck, and I didn't know how to recover from that, so I just walked away. I'm not even joking, and all my friends gave me such a hard time for it at the draft.
Well, I mean, honest to God, I look at him and all I see is Q.
Oh no, they totally look alike. And like, I was drinking too, so you got to give me a little bit of leeway there. But yeah, that's
They
my
look a
story
lot
with John
alike.
Davidson. Is I
Even
walked up to him
sober,
and
maybe.
he treated me like I was a piece of shit, but deservedly so for trying to think he was Joel Quinville, I guess.
Not to push the whole, because I'm not one of those guys who is a Red Wings fan or any kind of Detroit fan who's all rah Michigan boys, Michigan grown, and all that sort of stuff, which is a disturbing trend, which I've ranted about last night in regards to the Pistons. But Milano is another Michigan boy, and as you were saying earlier, yeah, this is starting to become, as we get down into the teens of the pick, you know, we're seeing a bumper crop now starting to form with U.S. players, which is like good. It's good for the U.S. thing. I think some people like, you know, there's always going to be that thing thrown up by TSN about all the Canadian guys, the CHL, a lot of the guys going up there. If you need talent right now, it's still great. But if you're looking for guys who are still going to develop for a couple of years, like, I mean, the U.S. has been winning a lot of under 18 tournaments lately, and their talent is really showing.
Oh yeah,
My team's up.
I like the Sonny Milano pick. I think that not just because he's American, but because I think a lot of people thought that he might actually go a little bit higher. He is a little bit small, but I think that, you know,
I thought he was ranked to
he's
go
in the
around
Eastern
now.
Conference now. His outlook's good, and everybody says that it's his upside that's worth something.
Now I'm nervous.
Oh, we got Dave's pick coming up here.
Oh man.
Who do you want?
Oh, yeah.
Paul? Who do you want?
Kapanen. I want Kapanen.
Of course
Yeah.
you do.
I've been talking about it all
Everybody,
night.
I cannot believe Kapanen fell to you here.
I can't believe he fell this
everybody-
far.
We need a
been
left
saying-
winger.
Everybody's been saying that they wanted it out of here.
Yeah, everyone's wants Kapanen because of his dad, most likely. And yeah, I mean, he's left winger and right winger. We like we like players that can play on both sides.
Oh, and they're going to commercial break. Of course they are.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
They're making us sweat. We're the hometown team. What do you expect?
Well, I told you my story when I was at the draft about Emerson Edom. How
Yeah.
everybody that's a Kings fan, Emerson Edom played for the Junior Kings.
Mhm.
He's the highest drafted Southern Californian player ever. And the Kings could have drafted him, and the entire crowd wanted him. And they passed up on him for Derek Forbort, who's still in the minor leagues. Like, ugh.
I mean, if we want to go home,
If they don't take Kapanen here, I'm going to feel your pain like you don't even know. Like, more than you even know.
Kapanen
Maybe.
or D'Angelo, if we're going to go with hometown people.
Yeah, D'Angelo, I
He
see
he's
is
a Flyers fan.
he's ranked. He's ranked number 14 by the NHL for North American skaters, right there. So I mean,
Yeah, he's a defenseman, which we need. He's a pretty good offensive defenseman, and he was born in southern, Jersey. Grew up a Flyers
Sarnia.
fan.
No, but that's his club.
Yeah, that's called. He's a Flyers fan. He's out and
Yeah.
said he dreams of playing for the Flyers. He wants to be picked by them, but he knows this might not happen because you can be picked by anybody. But he wants to play for us. So it's probably going to be him, because he's not a slash. He's an offensive defenseman, but he's a negative 34. But that's for Sarnia, who were, I think, the worst team in the OHL.
Sarnia's thing, yeah, they were terrible this year.
Yeah, so I can't really, blame that on him. Hopefully it's going to be him or Kapanen.
My timeline is starting to blow up. Showing his stick puck handle in there.
Yeah.
That was actually really cool.
Yeah, they showed a little bit of that on TV. I think the big story for me as far as this draft is, first off, it's going to be Joshua Hosang, seeing where he goes. I know he's already getting blasted across the board and a lot of stuff, and I just think that's stupid. I think it's stupid that we still hold up a lot of this character bull crap to such a high standard when you have just unbelievable talent staring you right in the face.
Well,
And,
I think it's just not as well seen in NHL. Like most, I mean, when you look at the stats for athletes in North America, when you look at the fact that NHL hasn't ever have anybody arrested, they don't have a lot of public profile figures getting into trouble or having attitude problems, because you have so many kids that get bred in a certain way when they come in that it's a little bit rare to see a guy like this who coming in has the skill but has an attitude as well, which you see all the time in like NBA or NHL, but you don't see it, or not NHL, and NBA and NFL, but you don't see it in NHL. So I think that's why it's kind of that anomaly where they're like, well, is this going to work?
Here we go.
But, I mean,
Here we go. Philadelphia.
I'll get to my point after Philadelphia.
Woo! Hextall, yeah, woo! Yeah!
You can thank us for Hextall. He learned everything he knows.
Hexy should go.
He came from us to you guys, and you should thank us for Dan Lombardi.
Is Patrick Raw in the crowd? He's just to jump in there and go right after Patrick, just for old time's sake.
Oh, I'd
Go
love
with
that.
Kapanen. Just go with Kapanen. That's what the fans want.
Let's go,
He's
Hextall!
the #1 rated European player. How do you not take him at this point?
Come on, Hextall, do it right.
How has no one taken him
why-
already? Is my
Well,
question.
Holmgren, what are you doing? You're not GM anymore. Get the fuck out of there. Did you forget?
No, they're gonna do what Columbus did. They're gonna have their president come up like Davidson did, and then they're gonna have the GM.
parade.
Okay, I'm pulling my headset away
They're
so I can
in
listen.
Philadelphia. How do you not have the whole ensemble?
Shh. I'm pulling my headset away so I can listen now.
Well, since Dave's not talking, I'm just gonna say
We would like to dedicate our 2014 draft.
I've actually really enjoyed the Philadelphia fans today.
Yeah,
With
that's
their
been fun. I'm
enthusiasm,
actually
like-
listening. I'm listening.
I think that they've made this more entertaining than a lot of other drafts.
Oh yeah.
You realize how weird it was for me to tune to the NBA draft last night and hear a commissioner getting cheered?
That's yeah.
They're dedicating it to Keith Allen, guys. That's such a great thing.
Keith, you will be remembered
I love Keith
They
Allen.
keep shitting up to the banners. That's it.
selection in the 2014
Here we go.
NCAA draft will be your general manager.
Oh, they're giving it to Hexy. Okay, come on.
Don't give it away. Ball's a little bit behind. Ball's like
Yeah.
5 seconds behind. Don't give
Fair
it
enough.
away.
Fair enough. Might hear it from my TV, then I'll pipe it down.
Even I'm ahead of Ball, and I'm on the West Coast. I don't know why.
Shut up.
Happens.
I love Ron Hextall.
I do too.
Here we go.
Philadelphia Flyers select from Calgary of the Western Hockey League.
Who? Oh, he was ranked pretty high. Defenseman.
Wow.
Which is interesting. There's not a lot of D in this draft here.
I am sad now. That was not who we wanted.
That was.
Craig Butter.
Well,
Craig
Was it who you
has him
needed?
eighth. Craig Button has him eighth.
I mean, he is 6'3", 200 pounds. You got a guy. I don't get this. When you look at their roster and what's going, like who they have in the system, you guys have way more defensemen than anything else locked up right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get this pick, actually.
We need
Yeah, even at the
really-
top level, the Flyers need more scorers.
I
Like, they just
personally can say I'm happy it's not a two-way center.
need-
That's fine. I mean, well, you say that you surprised they don't get scores, but Philadelphia had 7 20-goal scorers last season, which is the
Yeah.
most in the NHL. I think that they can score. It's just I'm surprised when you look at players at this point in the draft. It's about development and what you have coming down the pipeline, and you already have so many defensemen in the pipeline.
Mhm.
And I'm surprised it wasn't. I mean, at worst case, or what you need most in the pipeline is a goalie, in my opinion. But there's
We
no
have,
goalie
we
that
have a
you're going
goalie.
to take at this point.
Yeah, I mean we have. Oh, what's his name?
Anthony Stolars?
Yeah, Stolars. He's pretty good.
He's going to be your guys' backup
But
this
still,
season.
he's your only
not this
goalie
year,
in
no.
your system right now. So that's what I'm saying. That's your weakest position in your system.
We're probably going to
Defense
re-sign
is the
Cal.
strongest position, which is why it's kind of weird to me that you would take this.
Yeah, it's weird. Mainly because we already have big four on our defense. And Shane Gostisbehere, Samuel Morin, Mark Alt, and Robert Hagg. They're considered the big four for our defense. They're going to run our defense for a long time, most likely. So it's weird drafting a defenseman, yes. But because we don't have Chris Pronger anymore, we're trying to... We don't have Chris Pronger anymore. We don't have Kimmo Timonen after this year.
What?
Mark Straight is 38 years old. Grossman's going to probably... People are trying to get him to be traded. No one will take him, though. And Braden Coburn is, at most, a second defenseman on a team. So...
Well, from what I'm reading up on him, he's got a good shot and good skating ability,
We
which is
definitely
always
need
nice.
mobile defensemen is what we need.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys have slightly older, maybe a little bit, maybe not the greatest. Who's your best skating defenseman, you think? Timonen?
Timonen's older now.
Yeah,
Probably
he's older, though,
the best
too.
skating was Eric Gustafson, but he's not with us anymore. Braden Coburn. Braden Coburn's our best skating defenseman. He is he's our best defenseman, actually. He is really underrated with
I
how
can see
he
that.
is.
Because Mark Street's so old now that it's...
I mean, with Braden Coburn, he gets blamed a lot, but without him, our defense would be 200 times worse. He is just so calm. He has a very good pass. He's one of our best skaters. He's just so calm with the puck. Without him, we'd be nothing. And I hate how everyone calls him horrible, because he's anything but.
Jeff Merrick's reporting that Minnesota might trade the next pick.
That'll be my phone probably telling me something to that.
Yeah, your phone's pretty loud, by the way.
Yeah, let me silence this thing. My bad.
It's okay.
I'm kind of coming in here, man. You got me flustered. I think I was supposed to make a point
appreciate you
earlier.
joining us because
Yeah, no problem.
I kind of wanted a Detroit viewpoint.
And we were running out of things to kind of talk about between the three of us.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was going to be on a
We've been
point
going at
earlier.
this for 2 hours now, so you know.
Really?
This is a
It's
little
pretty
bit of a
long
longer
for-
podcast.
That's pretty long for a podcast, yeah.
It is, and we
I'm
still got
right
another
there.
hour to go here, so.
Oh boy.
We're covering the entire draft.
The entire first round. But
First
yeah.
round, yeah.
Yeah,
I ain't doing this tomorrow. I plan on not being conscious tomorrow.
Yeah. But I like the draft. It's fun for me.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Cap
Espionage
is falling this far.
was it the okay? Who'd they get? Oh, they got Tuke.
Yeah, that's who a lot of people thought they were
There
going to
we go.
take.
I can't pronounce his last name. It throws me off. I want to make a
Is
joke
it
about
touch, like touch, or is it two?
I think when I was reading from
Tuke.
Winging It in Motown had Tuke. I think it's pronounced Tuke because we had him in the SB Nation mock draft for Detroit, and there was a lot of Tuke, or like Took.
Ooh.
I think it's
spelled
Tuck,
with a Q.
not like Took, like the hat, but more like Took. I have it muted, so I'm probably missing how they're pronouncing it.
That's all right.
But he's
This guy's big, obviously. He's 6'3",
he's another development team.
215. He's
Yeah,
another
he's-
power forward in this draft.
Another boy from the U.S. Men's National Development Team in the USHL. He is committed to Boston College, which is just an unbelievable development factory. They produce NHL players like crazy. Like
Oh, yeah. Well, it's one of the greatest college
yeah,
hockey programs in the country.
yeah, they're up there. They in Michigan, Minnesota, and North Dakota are probably what I would call like the big four when it comes to those. But a lot of other teams in hockey have kind of stepped up. I know, again, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I know that's kind of been the number one selling point Notre Dame's always sold is about development. But you'll always see still the guys with the most the most drafted players is going to be Boston College and Minnesota. Because they know you can get that hockey education at those places.
I like the
in the
pick.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I think that Minnesota obviously is America's biggest factory of,
Oh,
players.
right now, it's going to be coming from a lot more a lot more around the nation as years go on, and they start getting players. Kind of.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, Shane Gostisbehere is from Florida, so you're kind of seeing the Pavel Bure, I guess, Pavel Bure kids growing up now in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan's always been a pretty good producer there, although it's always in Minnesota's shadow. I think Took. God damn, it's going to take me a while on that name. I think Took is actually from, I want to say it's from New York. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. We'll see who else kind of goes.
Let's see here. This is what I found a quote actually here from the development program head coach. He's had 2 great years here with the NTDP. Really good player, excellent power forward, uses size and strength very well, speed, skill should not be overlooked. This is just work ethic, blah, 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 intangible stuff that I don't care about and I could give 2 shits about. Sorry, I forgot. Is this supposed to be a PG cast?
Nope.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
depends.
We just try not to cuss too much.
All right. No, I try to watch myself sometimes. I slip.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
If you can't explain or, emphasize yourself in more than one adjective, then you probably shouldn't be talking.
Oh, I have plenty of adjectives.
I know you do. Tampa Bay's next. Tampa Bay has 2 first-round picks, the 19th and they got the 28th from the Rangers. Dave's stoked about that one.
Oh yeah.
Dave,
Tampa Bay just
how about Gamboa? Tell us what he thinks Tampa Bay's going to do here, because you probably know a little bit more about Tampa Bay than we do.
I actually don't know too much. I know they have I kind of was mad at them when they took Callahan and then re-signed him, so I haven't really looked. But let's see.
Tampa Bay needs defense, my opinion.
Yeah, they need defense. I mean, they don't have really good depth. I mean, they have a lot of defensemen, but I don't see, other than Kowick, I don't even know how to say his name on it.
Well, they just traded for Jason Garrison today from Vancouver, so I don't know why. I mean,
obnoxious.
When you look at their top 5 defensemen right now are not too bad, and then they have Radko Gudas after that too, who's whatever.
Perhaps a center. Either a center or maybe even a goalie.
If the Avalanche take Brendan Lemieux, I am going to laugh so hard.
My question is, I know that on their depth chart it's showing Jonathan Drouin playing left wing, but that's a bunch of BS in my opinion. Jonathan Drouin's going to play center.
And they don't really have
on that. Like, why would you not have the best creative center in juniors right now not play center in NHL?
Yeah, Dreger on Twitter is saying that the Hawks and Sharks have a trade.
Patrick Sharp.
Probably.
Wow, that would be... Yikes.
There's nothing on... Ooh.
Dreger just said that there's a trade. I don't...
Yeah, Doug Wilson, Stan Bowman at Central Registry. Oh, is it Patrick Sharp? Everyone's saying Patrick Sharp's going to go. This should be... Anyway, before we get to that, Tampa Bay is making their pick now.
Here we go.
I think that they're probably going to end up going winger here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see either Fabry or...
I say left winger, or they even go goalie. Way off far left, I say maybe they take a goalie. That's my far out.
Well, Pierre just said that they have the best goaltending prospects in the minors.
It's on Capgeek, they only have 3, though.
I think it's Fabry.
They have a good...
Here we go.
Yeah, Dreger just said Bowman confirmed the trade. Won't say what it is.
Oh, they took Oh, sorry, you're
wow.
They took a defenseman.
They took our Philly person.
Yep.
Another defenseman. Jeez. They are so stockpiled on defense.
How far is Kapanen going to fall?
This is a pretty good. It's a pretty good start so far too for the OHL of all things. I think we've seen like what this is like number 5, 6.
He's going to be really good. I'm excited for him. I think he'll take a few years to develop, but I think he's going to be real good.
This is the 6th OHLer.
6. Yes, thank you.
I want to know this trade, damn it.
Yeah, I'm digging through my timeline here. I saw something about Wilson at Central Registry.
Yeah, Wilson and Bowman were at Central Registry together. Then
Yeah.
Bowman confirms a trade, but won't say what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Where? Okay, this D'Angelo kid.
He was ranked 14th on the NHL North American Skaters. The midterm of 10.
I'm sorry, but I'm looking at the NHL prospect rankings. Oh, my
Yeah.
bad. I'm looking at the European. No wonder I was like, where the fuck? I was like, wow, this guy's really off the board. All right, yeah, no, this guy is good.
170. He's gonna have to.
He'll probably bulk up. I mean, he's only 17 years old.
Oh, geez. Oh, wait. Only 17?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the kids are like 17, 18 years old.
Well, I knew 18. I
No,
just wasn't sure about 17.
I think you're wrong. I'm sorry. He was born in '95. That means he's gonna be 19 this year.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yikes.
He is American.
Trade. Here's the trade.
Here we go.
I could announce a trade.
oh, Bedman.
Jose trades pick number 20 for 179 in the 2014 draft to Chicago for
It's only
picks
a pick trade.
57 and 62 in this year's draft.
Oh, it's only a pick trade. Oh. That was nothing.
All right, so Blackhawks have moved up to 20 now. Then
They moved up 7 spots, so they're obviously trying to make a play for somebody here.
Kapanen.
Kapanen probably, yeah. They're like, oh crap, he's actually available. Might as well go.
With the newest member of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Anthony D'Angelo. Big entourage here, only 25 minutes from your home. What does it mean? Not only to get selected in the National Hockey League, but so close to home.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I was trying to.
Kapanen makes a lot of sense.
Clear, and I've been, it's a dream come true for me to go to Tampa Bay. It's an unbelievable feeling.
And I know it's been a tough run for you because you said in your interview with Ryan, you had countless
Anthony D'Angelo with the tag still on his hat. Don't be a douche, bro. Like, not only does he have a tag on his hat still, but he has a hat so low you can't even see his eyes. Like,
The hat's probably the hat's too big for him. You can see it falling out the back.
I don't care, bro.
who gets draftees hats that already have the bill pre-bent?
Why wouldn't you bend the brill?
No, but you gotta. Okay, I'm a huge fan of 538 stuff, and I'm a God, I just 538 my head, 5950. You want to bend the bill yourself. You don't want it pre-bent. Pre-bent, it feels weird on your head. You want to bend the bill to the amount that you're comfortable with. I don't know. It's a culture difference, I guess. Probably still why then again the tag's on the top of the hat too.
Well, we've seen some surprises already. I don't know. With Chicago moving up here, obviously they're reaching for somebody, and you guys think it's going to be...
Has to be Kapanen. That's the only one that makes sense. He has fallen so low now.
So far.
I mean, he was ranked 13th on Craig Buttons, but he was like, what, the first ranked, highest ranked European skater or something? Second or third.
He's 11th.
In consensus ranking, let's see, he was 12th.
Mm-hmm.
He's the #1 European skater.
Barbashev hasn't gone yet, right? No.
He's actually ranked 13 on the NHL rank, and he had a midterm rank of 8.
Yeah.
Well, Ivan Barbashev is the other next highest ranked of the guys that have not gone.
Hmm.
And Jared McCann.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got a kid up on the procession now. Is this our first kid of the night, or have I just not been paying attention?
No, the kids have all been there. They always bring kids up.
Really? I don't know. There's always two types. There's the one who comes up and they just say it and get off the stage, and there's the one with the procession.
Also, would like to thank the city of Philadelphia and the Flyers for putting on a great event. Great to be back here in Philadelphia.
I don't think they're going Kapanen personally.
Let's see.
What is that?
I think they're going.
That was my dog.
Oh yeah, I do. Forget it.
Next Schmaltz? Next.
Oh, they took another USHL player.
Mm-hmm.
Where's
Let's
he
see.
ranked? He's 24th on Greg Button's.
Yeah,
Schmaltz
he's 19th in
is-
North American skater.
Yeah.
26th on Bob McKenzie's.
Yeah,
Wow, Kapanen might fall.
24 on
Kapanen
that.
can't fall out of the first round.
He's from
Maybe
I'm
they-
not sure which college he's picked, if anything, but he's from Madison, so might be probably he's going to Wisconsin.
Who? Nick Schmaltz?
Yeah, let me go look this up. I just want to see, because these USHL players almost always go on to NCAA.
They wouldn't go into juniors, so
Yeah.
it's a little too late for them.
He's actually going to the University of North Dakota. He's committed at North Dakota. Again,
And
very
they
good
are
at
obviously-
development talent.
they've won NCAA championship 9 times. They're one of the best NCAA programs ever.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't know the name because they really don't have an FBS football team like Michigan,
No,
Boston
But
College.
they're all
and
hockey
Minnesota
though.
do. But yeah, they're all hockey. and
I
they're-
believe actually that they've won the most Frozen Four tournaments.
I'm not sure about that. I'm sure you could probably find a Minnesota player to tell you. I'm a Minnesota fan to tell you about that though, because that is their
Minnesota
big
I know
rival.
does not have as many.
Yeah, but Minnesota is their big rival. For those
Oh,
not
yeah.
aware of NCAA, and it is like I'm a college football fan. I always tell people it's kind of like the Alabama Auburn of college hockey, or Michigan Ohio State if you are more Midwest inclined. So that moves Chicago up to
Michigan's
20.
won 9 times. North Dakota's won 7 times.
Mhm.
Wisconsin's won 6 times. Boston
Which is-
University's won 5 times. Boston College has won 5 times.
That's another big
Minnesota's
rivalry there,
been 5
BU-BC.
What's that?
I'm just saying that's another big rivalry there, BU-BC. Last time they won the tournament though was 2000, but this was a pretty big this was a heartbreaker this year for University of North Dakota. I'm sure a lot of people remember now that literally a buzzer beater goal scored by Minnesota to take North Dakota out of there. It's that Minnesota North Dakota rivalry has been on ice because of conference realignment. North Dakota's in the new I think it's NCHC, isn't it? Is the abbreviation, and Minnesota is with the Big Ten. They're going to get that thing started up again, but I mean that chance to meet in the tournament was like one of the first times they met all year. But again, great development school. Hackstall, their coach Hackstall, he's got a really good record, and they produce pretty guys. I'm pretty sure. Actually, Zach Parisi came out of North Dakota.
Yeah.
According to Ronald Lebeau, however we pronounce it, Mark Bergeron's talking to Bob Murray right now.
Really?
Not sure what's going on with that, but that would obviously be Anaheim and Montreal's GMs talking to each other. I don't really know.
Ducks do have a pick left over, don't they?
Not anymore. They traded it to Vancouver.
Right. So the Ducks may be wanting to get back in the first round then.
Well, Montreal, how would that benefit Montreal though? Because Montreal has the 26th pick. What are they going to do? I mean, I guess they can move on to the 26th, but Montreal would then move out of the first round.
Player they want.
But who are the Ducks going to trade for that?
Who knows?
Honestly, at this point, the first round talent is probably going to drop off and get a little mingled. And some guys you might see
I mean,
kind of hoping
Kapanen's
to
still
fall.
there. I mean, Kapanen's the best
Yeah.
player that's there right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, again, I rank Hosang pretty high up on my personal chart, but Kapanen, I think, from what I've been reading is
Kapanen and McCann. On one of my lists, I have McCann higher, and he has not gone yet. So
I think the problem with Kapanen is they question his play. That's the big thing, because again, Europeans, they always question the plays.
always.
I can't stand it.
I mean, we've had a history of really good European players, and there's also players that are just don't try. But then again, that's the same for Americans and Canadians. There are players out there that are not, hard players, so we shouldn't just question all them.
I always question too how much is really deserved that we fussed on guys for quote unquote not playing hard enough. Perception is just so crazy sometimes in sports.
The biggest thing yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying perception is so crazy in sports. Like there could be nights where the guy could be doing all he can, but if he's getting shut down on defense or something, he's just, of course not. It's going to look like a lack of effort. It's instead of what it actually is.
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing, I said earlier in the show, the biggest thing with European players is it's a different style of play over there in Europe.
Right. Yeah. It's a bigger ice.
It's like they don't rate them correctly because of that. They picked Fabry. Rob Fabry.
Blues have picked Fabry.
Yeah. Wow.
That's straight up. They want Kamino. They'll get their wish.
I'm honestly surprised he dropped this far. I thought so many people were saying that he was ranked too low. Maybe it's just because of his size, 5'10", 165.
Mm-hmm.
And also he played on a decent team.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the Magnitogorsk junior team.
Golf Storm had a good season, so maybe people thought that it was more the team than him.
Oh, he has some moves.
Okay, boys, I gotta head out early today.
All right.
It's fun.
All right, Gamboa. Hey, Gamboa.
Yeah.
I'm drinking out of a New York Rangers glass right now that I got from sleep because the Kings won Stanley Cup.
And I'm sad again. I thought that was going so nicely, and then that happened.
I just wanted to let you know.
I'm so excited. Oh, man.
I still love you.
Well, at least it's a good cup and it's working, right?
It is. Beautiful.
Just make sure that the bottom and the defense doesn't fall out. If anything, Lundqvist will be there to catch it. Okay, later, guys. Have a good one.
Later.
See you there.
Who else can we bring in here?
I really do like this pick, by the way.
Yeah.
I think that, man, I really thought that just his skill level was going to bring this kid up a little bit, but I guess it's just a matter of size. And in that regard, then I'm a little bit surprised that St. Louis would bring him in, because St. Louis is a big team too. But maybe St. Louis is just got to take the best available player.
At this point, yeah, it's probably coming down to it. Like I think it was like 6 picks ago. Mackenzie was already saying the draft was starting to get murky. A lot of guys can just kind of move around at will because the difference kind of dropped off after about 12 or so.
I think with this draft in general, I think the biggest problem was it's a small draft.
Right.
A lot of highly skilled people that are very, tiny. And that was the biggest problem. Oh, listen to these boos.
I'm always a little cautious about going too much on size in that regard, but I mean.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
How about you shoot an invite to Britt?
Sure.
Pitt Pens Pats.
Is she home?
Yeah, she's on Twitter. I can see if she's home, but
I'll send her an invite.
get her opinion on the Pittsburgh pick right now.
Sure.
See what happens. SB Nation Mock is saying Nikita Sherback from Saskatoon.
Let's see. What are they weak at? Well, defense. But they have a lot of defense in their system. I know that.
Yeah.
And I know
Again,
the Penguins fans are freaking out that they constantly pick defense over and over again.
Well, Shareback, again, I'm just going off the SB Nation blog. Russian-born, but plays in Saskatoon WHL. He's a left winger, 6 foot. Led all of Western Hockey League rookies with 19 points. In, let's see.
They're gonna go left wing. They're gonna go wings. I know that.
Well, Shareback would fit that profile then. Let's see.
They have to go wings.
Yep. All these Russian players listing Pavel Datsyuk as their favorite player.
Tocchet.
Huh?
Tocchet's talking.
This is going to be the loudest. It's going to be all night in Philly.
They sent Tocchet out to try to.
I wonder how much he bet on how much he was going to get booed.
Did you hear what he said?
Here we go.
They pick Kapanen.
They got Kapanen.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you hear what he said right before he started talking about the pick?
No.
He turned to Rutherford. He's like, "I told you this wouldn't work, sending me out."
He was right.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. This is why I kept missing Kapanen, because I kept you were saying his name a certain way, and I don't know why I came out with Kamenev, who was a little farther down the list. I found Kapanen. Yeah.
Yeah, he's ranked really high up.
No, he's first. He's first for the NHL for European skaters. So, I mean, for Pittsburgh, I mean, if he pans out to that ranking, he's a good get. He's a good get at the pick, like picking this late in the draft.
Yeah.
So I assume you guys kind of went over the Neil trade earlier.
Yep. And how how stupid it was for Pittsburgh to do.
Well, it's got to be good for Nashville. I know. Like,
we're not sure if it's gonna be good for Nashville either because they don't have a guy feeding him like Neil did in Pittsburgh.
Right, but he's still a scorer, and I mean, just the sheer lack of
plays. He's not a play driver. He's just a finisher. That's his thing.
Yeah, I guess. I think it's just being overshadowed a little bit because you're seeing a lot of Preds fans just upset that Hornquist is gone.
Yeah. So,
well,
definitely this isn't over. I mean, the offseason isn't over. They can still make a lot of moves there too. Neil might just be the first domino to really fall for Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting to see the reaction from Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. So, who do you guys think the Avalanche are going to pick?
Oh, Renaud Laveau says that the Canadians are now talking to the Kings. What?
Wow.
And as far as the Avs go, I would be tickled pink if they took Brendan Lemieux. It would just seem too perfect.
For the Kings?
No, the Avs. The Avs take Brendan Lemieux.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I would die laughing.
I wonder. I think that this next pick coming up, the Avs already got a ton of speed. I'm kind of wondering if they're going to go defense on this, but I don't know that there's not many good defensemen out there.
It really isn't. Like, Like I'm just looking through. So I mean, as far as the top defenseman, I know Ekblad's gone, Fleury's gone, Honka's gone, D'Angelo's gone. Next one on the NHL roster for North Americans at 26, and on the
Roland
European.
McEwen.
Huh?
Roland McEwen, I said.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they're a little bit weak on the right wing as well. You could maybe see them going with... I don't know. It's a little bit tough. Because Kapanen just went and they need a right wing, so there's no other good right wings right now.
Nylander's still on the board, isn't he? Or did he go earlier?
Who's that?
William Nylander?
Oh, no, Toronto took him.
Oh, okay.
McCann's probably the highest rated.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. Maybe Adrian Kempe out of Sweden.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
He'd get along with Landeskog.
Okay, good. My mic stopped working.
Yeah, what happened? I was wondering where you went.
Oh. He was ranked pretty high up. He was ranked 10th. Oh yeah, my mic stopped.
Somebody speaking in French about the Kings trading
My
for
mic
29
stopped working.
picks.
My headphones stopped working. I had to unplug, then I had to open up Google Hangouts in a different account to make this work.
Mark Bergeron's talking to the Kings.
Oh, I wonder who they traded.
Nothing on Twitter, actually. It's interesting.
I don't really know what they could get from us. All right.
Let's go center.
That's not a bad pick. 6 foot, 200, decent size.
Yeah.
Second scoring in the Western Hockey League.
Yeah, he had over a point per game.
He was the captain too, so that's always good.
I don't really know how to rate this guy. Play center. They're already pretty stocked at center, so I don't know if they're going to move some other people to wing or what, but when you look at Colorado's depth chart in their organization, center is probably their strongest point. You have Duchesne, McKinnon, Stachny, if he comes back, which we don't know. You have Mitchell, Talbot, Ryan O'Reilly. I'm a little bit surprised that they would take another center here, but maybe they don't think O'Reilly's staying, perhaps. Who knows? O'Reilly is a restricted free agent, but a little bit of an odd pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, though. Yeah, it is really an odd pick. I mean, who knows? I mean, you don't draft for what your needs are now. You draft for what you think your needs are in the future.
That and this point.
But how much of a future in the first round is what I'm saying. The first round is when you draft players that you expect to make an impact within the next 3 years.
That's true.
Realistically. Or at least maybe have a chance at the big club. And if you already have a bunch of young centers, like they do, I'm just kind of wondering why they would do this. I mean, Maxim Talbot might be the only one that gets bumped. John Mitchell maybe as well, but you have Duchesne, McKinnon, O'Reilly, and possibly Stastny if he comes back, but that's doubtful at this point. So you still have, I don't know. It just seems weird to me when your right wing's so weak that you're going to draft another center.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had the first pick last year, and yes, they made the playoffs this year. But I wouldn't they're still a young team that needs depth, and I don't know why you add more to what you're already have an abundance at, which is center. Why would you not try to build your wings?
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's just kind of an odd pick.
Yeah. He must know something we don't know.
That's true.
Always just, use one of those guys, just see what works out, what doesn't, just dangle something for trade bait later on, too.
One that they had the best one they had written, so that's who the scouts wanted, so that's who they picked.
Yep. So we got Vancouver finally on the board here.
I'm looking at the picture. A picture of
They already picked once.
Oh, the person the Flyers picked looks so much like he looks like he's 12 years old. Wow.
Let's be honest, if you look at since the NHL salary cap came in, there's no example of teams that don't win with those good drafts. Not just the first round. You got to draft the second round on. Here's that.
Seeing as they picked a right wing earlier.
Jeremy McCann.
Oh, there they go.
Finally. This guy fell so far this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just one of the products of Logjam right there.
Oh. Moving out the
I feel bad for him. He's the guy that fell in the draft. He was projected top 10.
Was he really?
Yeah. Top 10.
He was projected very high.
And in some drafts at least. Top 10 North American skaters. It's just
He's been there all year too. He's been in that near that same spot. It's not like anyone saw him kind of dropping or rising or anything like that. So
now I'm wondering if we're getting into the Josh Hosang picks right now, or
he's
somebody
got to
might
go at some
take a
point.
flyer on him.
I'd take more than a flyer on him. Again, it's silly that we're judging on personality when that kind of stuff can just get changed and molded with someone. He's already gone on interviews a lot talking about look, I was young and I'm just trying to I'm trying to do things the way I want, and I want to talk and I want to work with a coach on this sort of stuff. It's so what? He doesn't fit that mold where the coach is the dictator. Just whatever. He's a good player.
Next we have Boston, who doesn't technically have a right wing signed to their team.
Really?
I don't think that they're going to get a right wing right now, but because they already have right wings in the system, technically Riley Smith is a right wing, but he's not signed. I think that at this point in the draft, you kind of just go with the best available player.
Yeah.
More or less. We're going to see a lot of guys who fell earlier on just kind of get swooped up and picked up. A lot of GMs are just be like, oh, really? He fell far enough? Well, arbitrage event. Just take what you can.
I'm going to say they picked Nikolai Goldobin. He's a right wing from Sarnia. At least it would add to their depth there. Possibly he gets a spot somewhere along the line, but
right now you can't really expect.
He's one of the top 30 ranked players, and they have obviously a weakness at right wing. So,
I guess there wasn't a trade with the Kings, or else they would have announced it by now.
Must have fallen through.
Well, Bergeron's still talking to everybody around this area. He's talking the 26 pick as well. Or not 20, they're 26, excuse me. But he's talking to people going down about the 26 pick. So
Hmm.
I doubt he's gonna make a draft. Or I doubt he's gonna make a trade with Boston because obviously it's Montreal and Boston. But
That's the cost of doing business sometimes.
which when you always hear about draft trades and things like that, you always hear about New Jersey and New York have never traded with each other
Hmm.
ever.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me. The New York Rangers and New Jersey Devils have never made a trade.
Well, they've had this. I think New Jersey has had the same GM their entire
Yep, Lou. So I mean,
lose. So
hell,
it's down 100%.
Boston and New York make trades all the time in baseball. So I don't think we can really rely on saying that those kind of rivalries anymore, of like you don't cross the line no matter what, really exist. I know Boston, Montreal is about as heated as you can really get in sports, looking at the players. But how much? I mean, I can't really say that's gonna. Is that real? Do we really think that kind of extends the front offices?
You never
Like when
know.
your job is basically to win no matter what, I seriously doubt that that's anything more than a statistical anomaly.
Mm.
What would you think about Montreal taking Lemieux next?
Brennan Lemieux.
No, Claude Lemieux's kid.
Yes, actually we have a couple of kids in here. I saw Joel Quenneville's kid. I think.
No, that's his
Or
cousin,
something.
They
Yeah.
took
John
Pasternak.
Quinville.
David Pasternak.
I think he's actually he's pretty highly ranked, I think, on the European
Oh, this guy dropped a little bit too. He's from Sweden. He plays left wing and right wing. David Pasternak, who I thought maybe the Sharks would take earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this is a pretty good pick. He was ranked
5th
18th
overall.
in consensus. He's one of the best European players.
Czech plays in Sweden too. Led his team in assists and points.
This guy was playing in Sweden, but is he Swedish?
No, he's Czech.
I thought he was. Yeah, he was. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was on the silver medal Czech team in 2014, the under-18 world champion.
So he's got some upside to him, and he's already playing basically almost professional already in Europe, so he might be ready to go a little bit sooner than some of the other guys. It's just a matter of whether he. Obviously, Boston's a very good team, so trying to get a spot on that team is going to be tough.
Yeah, but at the same time, too, even if you got that much spot, you can let him cook a little bit, send him down to Providence.
Well, Providence had a very good team this year, too.
Yeah.
I think that they underperformed in the playoffs, but I thought that they had a pretty decent team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 26 here is Montreal, and Bergevin has been pretty active trying to shop this.
Yeah, question is going to be who's going to really get any bites. I don't imagine you're going to get much value. Like if you're looking if you're shopping it and the guy's sitting there, I don't think he's thinking he can get much value for a 26 pick really back. Like, I mean, what you're going to have to be giving up some second rounders and some lower rounders. Just at this point in the draft, how much of that are you really getting back? Unless you are really hot on a guy right now who's still on the boards.
Right. Bergevin's done a very good job for 2 years. Obviously, he was nominated for Team of the Year this year.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 years is kind of hard to make a judgment call on how well his drafting's been, obviously. I think it usually takes 4 to 5 years to really tell you how well your drafting's done.
I'd give a couple more years than that myself, but yeah.
he's made some good moves in the season and off season to help elevate his team to where it's at, and he brought in a coach that he trusted in and believed in and has done well. But when you look at the draft picks that they've made the last couple of years, last year, obviously, their first pick was Michael McCarron, who was in the under 18 for the U.S., but he hasn't really done anything yet. Jacob De La Rose, who's done okay. And then you had Alex Galchenyuk a couple years ago, who's obviously a great player. Well, maybe not great, but he's
gonna be
he was a great pick, but he was third overall, so at that point you kind of expect that. So he's really the only dynamic player that Bergeron's picked so far that's on the big team.
How long has he been GM now?
Say that again?
How long has he been GM now?
2 years.
So he has time for his prospects that he's picked
to
make an
Yeah.
impact.
Because 3 years ago, Montreal finished last in the East, and then he came in his first season. He picked Alex Galchenyuk third overall, and then last year they made the playoffs. They won their division. This year, obviously, they made the Eastern Conference Final. So he's done a great job as a GM, but you haven't seen a lot of picks other than Galchenyuk that he's made yet.
Maybe you have to have a goalie in this draft.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering about. I wonder what goalies they would pick.
I wonder how badly the Kings are going to get booed here.
I don't know if they're going to be booed too badly.
Doesn't look like they've traded the pick, though.
No. Hey, send Amanda an invite. Dave.
Okay. Sent.
She's obviously a Montreal fan, so
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Let's get her in here and see what she thinks about this. Bergeron's fantastic. I love this guy. Classy and funny. I like it.
Ooh, you're doing French now. Ooh.
This is America. Trevor. His last name? Oh, that's the person. Okay. Nikita Sherba.
Oh, Sherba.
Oh, that's who TSN thought they were going to take.
We were talking about Sherbak earlier, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's actually a little bit undersized for his height. He's 6'2", 175, which is not terribly bad for
6'2"?
your average Joe. Yeah.
Well, NHL has him listed at 6.
I'm showing two different sources saying 6'2".
That's
I don't know. Well,
somewhere between them.
If he is 6'2" and 175, I think he can bulk up a little bit. If he's 6 foot, then maybe not.
Yeah.
I have him at 6 foot here.
Okay.
Still, he led the Western Hockey League as far as rookies.
I don't think Amanda's coming in either.
Blade's most valuable player, rookie of the year, plus-minus leader, 3-star award winner, top scorer award.
Yeah, this. I mean, I thought he was going to go earlier myself when I talked about him, but I think this is a good pick. I think Montreal needed somebody that can play right wing in their system. I think that it looks like he can play wing, although he is a left winger. I think maybe you can move him over.
I'm sure with a good coach, they could probably transition him.
Oh, hey, we got Amanda in here. Amanda, what do you think about this pick for the Montreal Canadiens?
I don't even know who he is. I was expecting that Josh Hosang guy, since, sort of like PK. But I looked him up real quick, and I think it's a good move.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's
like
been a scoring machine right here in the Western Hockey League.
What's your favorite
Do you
aspect
think?
about him?
Well, what did you want Montreal to pick? Like, what position?
Well, wingers mostly. Like, I mean, when you've got Galchenyuk and you can't even really play him at center, you really need people who actually do play a wing position. Plus, he's tall, relatively speaking, for the Habs.
Yeah.
It's not
You mean
saying
Danny
much.
Briere is not tall?
Come on, he's like the tallest person ever.
Oh yeah. Well, I walked by Brendan Gallagher once, and I can tell you he's not 5'9".
But you do like the pick? I personally like the pick. If this guy's really, according to Chris and Dave here, they're saying the NHL is reporting he's 6 foot, but I got a couple people saying he's 6'2". If he's really 6'2", I think that's good for you guys. You guys need some size.
Yeah.
And I like Bergevin. Your GM's amazing.
Oh yeah.
He was funny.
Have you been pretty happy with him? We were talking earlier. I mean, he's only had a couple years here, but as a Montreal fan, really you've only seen Galchenyuk make it to the NHL. But how do you feel about the guys coming up that he's drafted? Have you heard much about them, and how do you feel about the way that he's drafted?
Oh yeah, he's done a great job. Because, I mean, I've only really been a fan for 3 years, but coming from the Thrashers, it was sort of similar at first before they got Bergevin. So, like last year, I really like Michael McCarron. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's really big, of course, and he seems like a good pick. And I hope eventually, like maybe in the next 2 years, hopefully he'll be on the team. And then a lot of the other picks, like signing, I think he signed the captain from Union.
You know who Michael McCarron looks like?
Was...
Who's the guy in How I Met Your Mother?
Huh.
The tall dude.
I know you. I know who you're talking about.
Talking about Jason Segel.
Yeah, Jason Segel. Michael McCarron looks like him.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the Union College captain was actually drafted. Was actually signed by New York Rangers. Did they do that?
Was someone from them?
Well, the great thing about that is like they only had one drafted player on their roster, and that was Ghost Bear. But pretty much what happens when you have a team like that who only has one drafted player on their roster win the NCAA tournament, you see a lot of guys who just basically fell through the cracks, who basically went too far. Not being drafted, that they just became undrafted, or they were playing in a lower junior A or something like that. And as soon as that talent is finally on display in like their senior or junior year at the NCAA level, they get offers right off the bat. Like teams realize what they missed and try to go just kind of take a waiver on them.
I posted a picture of Michael McCarron in the sidebar. Tell me he doesn't look like the love child of Jason Segel and Michael Schumacher. Like.
Oh, he does.
Oh, wow.
He has that Schumacher jaw.
Wow.
Oh, here we go. I found what you were talking about here, Amanda. They signed Connor Crisp and Daniel Carr. Both of them were forwards on the Union College team. Carr was actually, I think he was an assistant captain.
Oh, okay. I thought Connor Crisp was with them before that, and they just happened to sign both the same day.
Yes. They.
Okay.
Here we go with the Sharks.
Okay.
I think I hate the Sharks, but
Boo him right now.
Boo.
I think they're gonna pick a winger. I think they're gonna pick Andre Kemp.
Well, no, they didn't pick him. Goldobin.
Ooh, he's the one I thought Vancouver might pick a couple of picks ago.
There's Sarnia pick.
Yeah, another Sarnia pick.
Another Russian. Let's see. Led Sarnia finished 6th with 94 points. Had a 22 consecutive game streak where he recorded at least 1 point.
He had 43 points in that 22-game point streak, by the way.
Yeah.
He led the Sarnia Sting in scoring as well. He's small, though. He's only 5'11", 178.
This is where NHL is a little off here. Again, they have him listed at 6 foot. I'm kind of wondering if they're just listing everyone at 6 foot. I'll have to go through their drafts and find out. Maybe they just don't know. They're just like, whatever. 185 though, so either way, he's looks like he's got a little bulk.
Apparently, the Islanders and Lightning are trading.
Really?
And
Sakic and Lombardi are discussing.
Yeah, Lombardi's been talking to a couple people, though, but he hasn't made any moves. I don't really know what the Kings can move. Like, people are talking to the Kings, but what are they going to do?
I'm pretty sure when Bergevin was talking to people, it was fashion advice.
I need to ask one thing about
I have at least one person. Joe Sakic is talking to Dean Lombardi. And I have at least one person on Twitter saying that the Islanders are trading back in the first round with the so we'll see.
I need to ask one thing about
Tampa's trading their 28th overall pick.
Huh. I need to ask one thing about Goldobin, though, before we move on from him. In the CHL top prospects game, he was named Team Cherry's player of the game. He's from Russia.
There's Bettman here.
How do you let that happen?
Oh.
Trade.
Gary Bettman.
Boo.
Boo him.
To the New York Islanders for picks number 35 and 57, all in this year's draft.
Just pick trades.
Another pick trade.
Wow.
Yep. Tampa just traded out of the first round, looks like.
I wonder who Gar Snow wants here.
No, Tampa already had their pick already earlier in this.
No, I know, but I'm just saying they're just trading off their other one.
They just traded the New York pick.
For a second rounder and.
So the New York Islanders earlier with the 5th pick picked Michael Dalcoli, center, left wing. So do you think that they're gonna go with forward again here, or do you think they're gonna go with a top-rated goalie? Because their goalies, in my opinion, are the weakest part of their system.
I feel like they're going to go goalie. They have
I would hope they go goalie.
They have to.
The first goalie taken here.
Week after Halak.
Well, where did they pick in the... I need to go look and see where they pick in the second round. I think that's going to be key whether they take a goalie or not.
Well...
Second round, New York.
The top-rated goalie is Thatcher Demke from Boston College, who is currently ranked 30th overall. But I think, okay, here's what I'm thinking is the Kings, I know that we have Jonathan Quick, obviously, for a long time, but realistically, the Kings do not have good goalie depth in their system, so I'm wondering if that's why the Islanders made this move, because I think maybe the Kings were going to draft a goalie here.
They could. I mean, your backup this year.
Everyone says that aside from, obviously, our starting 2 goalies, which is Jonathan Quick and Martin Jones, who's our backup, our goalies in our system are terrible. So a lot of people thought the Kings, at this pick, were going to pick a goalie. So I'd be kind of interested to see if the Islanders end up swooping them right here and grabbing the top goalie prospect.
Which they could, because there's like a huge drop-off between first goalie and second goalie, from what I understand.
Yeah, and there's only one goalie ranked in the top 30, so...
They're probably going to pick goalie, which is going to screw over your Kings.
By the way, Dave, did you find out where the Islanders are picking the second round?
They just traded their 5th.
Oh, so that's the second round pick they traded. Okay.
Yeah, they traded their
Yeah.
35th pick.
They traded their first and second pick for this.
Then they pick again.
Or second and third,
The
sorry,
20.
whatever.
They pick in the second round, the 27th pick of the second round. So 57th overall, they have another pick.
So they traded both of their second round picks for this pick. So they get two
Did they?
first round picks. That's not really a bad trade for them if they like this guy.
Well, it's always interesting because, I mean, you got to think at some point the situation is going to stop being in flux with the Islanders. Either
Once they get rid of their owner, they'll be.
well, yeah, once Wang sells the team, but they're going to also be. I mean, they've got a pretty good. They've got a pretty good situation coming up. I know. Well, Barclay Center kind of gets a little bad, but I mean, it's not that bad of a market to be in. It's definitely better than being out in Nassau County. Like Brooklyn is strictly speaking an upgrade as far as market.
They just have problems with the stadium in general. Is what most people make fun of. How the sight distances are horrible. It's not built for ice hockey.
Right. No, it's a basketball stadium first and foremost. But at the same time, too, like that's not going to stop people from going there if they are. I mean, Brooklyn's a vibrant community now. You will get people filling up those seats.
Yeah.
Islanders
You're just
are
gonna make
said
sure
to
the
be
product's
picking
good.
Josh Ho-Sang.
Hosang, okay.
That's the rumor. I don't know why they would do this, but they're going to do it.
I mean, Hosang was just plummeting. I don't know why you would want to trade up. Why you would trade up?
I don't
for
know
him.
why they would do this as the Islanders, though. They don't have any goalies in their system. Why do you not take a goalie?
Maybe they feel they can get. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, they just sold off their picks for the later rounds. It's not like
Josh
they're
I
done.
think it makes sense for him, knowing that
him.
he's pretty
Okay, I
much
see him now.
dropping. Why trade up for him?
And think with Josh, people will question his character a lot because apparently he gets.
Yeah, but the guy who apparently makes bad comments about his own teammates already went.
That's who it was. Yeah. Oh, the racial slur guy. Yeah.
Woohoo,
D'Angelo.
welcome to how people look at these hockey drafts.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything.
We're running out
Look,
of
man.
things
I mean, I'm just saying, junior hockey's got worse things to worry about than a kid who talks to his coach a little bit. USHL just had like two guys who were getting trumped up on child pornography charges because they filmed a sex tape with one of their 15-year-old girlfriend or something and started spreading it around in Minnesota. So it's not like, yeah, this was on Dubusk. So I mean, it's not like this guy is breaking anything, but again, that's kind of the legacy you have with the sport, that it kind of has that much weight on it. Did NBC seriously just switch to a track and field thing here?
I think they did.
Hold on.
Wow.
Is it just a preview, or they actually just switched away?
It's 10 o'clock, so they probably switched away.
Yep. All right.
I'm posting something inside, but you can get this stream here.
I'm kind of amazed that I thought they were better than that.
So
honestly, the NHL draft doesn't rank that high in the United States.
No, it doesn't, because it's kind of like it's the baseball draft where
They
like
did
only,
draft Ho-Sang, didn't they?
yeah, they did.
Okay, I couldn't tell because.
Yeah, I'm just getting the stream up here. So
The anger on Twitter.
they didn't even say they were cutting it off.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Expect to see something on. I know one of the awful announcing writers, by the way, is a very big NHL fan.
As a
so
Kings
expect to see
fan,
this.
as a Kings fan, I literally have probably 400 people on my follow list that are Kings fans out of all the people I have. So my thing is just blowing up right now because everybody's waiting to see the Kings pick.
Everyone's blowing up like, did they just change it? What the hell?
My
No,
Twitter
are you
feed
serious?
is just
NBC?
angry.
Yeah, they
Oh
cut
my
away.
god, even worse, it's apparently pre-recorded.
Remember,
man.
you know what? I told people, you got to beware about The NHL's got to beware about jumping in bed with one provider alone in the United States. And everyone shouted me down. I was like, oh no, the NBC thing's good. And look what happens.
Anyway, So the Kings are picking. They're my team, and yeah.
How you feeling about
At
this?
this
Yeah,
point,
so let's see.
I'm not really sure what they're gonna pick. If they don't pick a goalie, I'm not really sure they're gonna pick a goalie because we already have a couple in the system, and I don't necessarily know that anybody in the draft right now is better than Baribe, who's our minor league goalie right now. However, we are weak at goalie, and we actually are weak at center. I know that obviously the Kings are good at center down the middle with Kopitar, Richard Stoll, and Carter, but in our farm system, our center's a little bit weak, so I wouldn't be surprised if we take a center here. But we don't really have a lot of needs, like real needs, because Manchester, our minor league team, finished first in their division this year too. So our farm system is pretty decent too. And I think that they're probably just going to end up going with whoever they feel is the best available player.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Aaron Kempe or maybe Brandon Lemieux.
Aaron Kempe fell so far.
I'm just still in shock about the NBC move. This is just.
You think they would hold it out?
Well, it's like, everyone keeps talking about, like, they need to expand their coverage. They need to expand their coverage. This is like the big sport you have, and you just gave it you just gave that entire league a middle finger. Like, the NHL cannot be happy about this. They cannot be happy. And that to look over on NBCSN and see that they've cut away for track and fields.
I mean, NBC Sports did just post a thing on Twitter. It's like, we're not done yet here. You can look at our live draft coverage on our website.
Well, they got it. They got to get a little. It's a recorded track and field. It is
cares about track and field in this country.
But it's not even that. It's taped. It's taped. They had time to run this during the day. And I was watching NBCSN during the day. What were they showing? They were showing their stupid hunting shows left over from OLN. Like, you had time to run this.
There's Mike Fuda, by the way, that they're profiling right now. Mike Fuda has been a fucking genius for the Kings. He's our head of scouting. He just got a raise this year. Some people thought he was going to end up being Vancouver's GM, but that guy's been amazing for us since he got picked up in 2007.
Mm.
I'll be honest. Like I said, I really don't know what the Kings are going to do here because I think they're just going to take whoever they feel is the best available player.
I do like this here real quick, though. Let's SB Nation NHL just tweeted, let's help New York Post brainstorm some Josh Ho-Sang back page headlines. So you thinking it might be Lemieux?
Yeah. I think it's going to be Lemieux or Kempe.
Oh, just the reactions of people.
Everyone's freaking out right now.
That's unprecedented.
People like, damn, I wish this draft were over so I can watch track and field. I didn't even know people watched that really outside of their children.
It's in some parts. Like, you gotta. The problem too is, like, a lot of it's like Deadspin had some great articles on it.
Who's that they picked? Andre Kempe.
Oh, all right. That's what I thought.
Kempe, yeah. Is it Kemp or Kempe or?
Kempe, I don't know. I can't listen to that. I have to have it on mute so I can hear you guys now. So
That's never stopped me. I should probably be pumping this through my headset, but
I have it all through my headset, so it was easier on TV because I could listen to that while listening to you guys at the same time. And
now my feed is cut off here.
Well, he's the only Swedish guy in our system now. So.
So when are you training him to the Red Wings?
Hey, let me know.
So who were the Devils?
He was ranked pretty high, I'm seeing. He was actually third ranked during the midterm, and he fell to 6.
And he fell to 29th.
Yeah, well, let's see.
I mean, he's a prototypical Kings kind of player. I don't know how you guys have him size-wise, but he's 6'2", 190, center left wing. The guy's got some size, obviously, so...
6-1 on this.
187.
He was part of the gold medal under 17 back in 2013. It's actually brother of Mario Kemp.
Oh, okay.
So with the Devils, I see them take. Who would they take?
Peter's saying he's got some pretty good speed too.
What if they take Brandon Lemieux? Claude Lemieux's son. That'd be awesome for the Devils.
Why would it be awesome for the Devils?
Because Claude Lemieux used to play for them.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. Everyone just kind of remembers the Avs years, but no, he was playing on a few teams actually.
That just reminds me.
I think didn't he play more years? No, he didn't. He played no.
I still think it's BS. The
He
Devils.
played 5 years for the Devils. 5 years for the. He played 6 years. Yeah, he played more years for the Devils than he did for Colorado.
Well, I mean, he started with Montreal, so he's kind of just
Yes, he did.
He's bounced around.
He played 5 for Montreal, 5 for the Devils, 5 for Colorado, 1 for the Devils, 3 for Phoenix, 1 for the Stars. Retired, then came back and tried to play 1 for the Sharks.
He actually played for.
I'm not upset with this pick at all, by the way. This Kempe pick.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
okay
it's
with
good. Again, it just looks like talent that just kind of dropped a little bit, and you got a pretty good pickup there.
Keep forgetting I'm on the R HockeyCast account. I keep tweeting as it. Like commenting.
Interesting to know, Claude Lemieux apparently played for 3 different Sharks: Worcester, San Jose. Before Worcester, he played for China, the China Sharks.
It's amazing.
China Sharks.
Yeah, apparently it's like China Dragon now, Asian League Ice Hockey. I think who was telling stories about this like Asian hockey leagues. I think it was I was listening to someone. He was talking about his biography. It was a goaltender, Jamie McLennan. He was talking about how he was playing for Japan and they were playing China, and I guess China was so awful that they, he was starting to skate over to his net, and the Japanese players were like, no, you can sit this one out. It's fine. We don't need a goalie. And apparently the linesman smoked during the game, smoked cigarettes.
Well, I've heard that the Japan-Korea League's actually not too bad.
Yeah,
maybe
but
the
I guess
South
China
is not that great though.
You don't deserve this kind.
So
I'm personally picking Brandon Lemieux to go this round. I don't know who you guys are picking.
I'm not even sure who's really left. Honestly.
I think there's a few high-rated Europeans who still haven't really been taken yet.
Well, I feel like a lot of those Europeans are not ranked well because a lot of people aren't sure if they're going to stay in Europe or not.
That's one of the biggest things with Europeans. You're not sure if they're going to come over or not. Same with Russians. You're not sure if they're going to stay in the KHL or not because they get a lot more money there.
Have we had a Russian drafted yet?
We've had plenty of Russians drafted.
Yeah.
I think
This
most
year?
of them have already been. Well, we had the Magnitogorsk guy drafted. There was actually quite a few Russians who were playing in the CHL who were drafted.
No, I'm asking you, have we had any Russians drafted today?
KHL. Like KHL over today.
I don't think we have.
No, but that's.
Here goes the Devils. Who do they pick? John Quenneville.
Oh, I picked
your
him.
feet's
I
ahead.
picked him in my mock draft at 29.
He looks so angry. Look at that baby face. He looks like he is.
And you know what? I got shit for that in the mock draft, so I am going to validate the fact that I picked him in the first round at 29 for the Kings, and he got taken 30 in the actual draft. Because people gave me shit for drafting John Quenneville, so you guys can all screw yourselves.
Look at that, 71 penalty minutes.
He looks so much like a baby. Oh my god.
Yeah, I
Did I
know,
look
but
like,
just
did I look
but
pretty
at the
young when I
same
was
time too,
17?
at the same time too, though, just stretch out his face a little bit, let his jaw widen, and give him a great old mustache, and yeah, he's a spitting image of Joel. Come on, tell me that
He looks
doesn't.
a little bit emo in his profile picture. I'm not gonna lie.
He looks, yeah, he
He
just
looks like
angry.
he's like, God, I gotta play hockey because my family name is Quinville. I'll just go number 1, first round. It's
Or
cool.
30th. I'll just go 30th.
That's what I meant. First round pick with 30th.
Whatever,
You
man.
go first overall.
Like whatever. Okay.
Sorry, Bird really wants his opinion known.
Can you translate? I don't speak Burdenese.
I'm pretty sure he thinks he was supposed to be drafted.
Sorry, the Thrashers aren't in town no more.
Well, you know, he could play both left and right wing.
Ah.
Well, that's the end of the draft, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess after almost 3.5 hours, we should end this.
You guys really trooped this. I'm just coming in
Oh
here and
my
just being a
God.
jerk.
I'm guessing nobody's actually going to listen to this podcast ever, but I enjoyed it as it is.
15 minutes we were on.
3
So much
hours and
dead
15
air,
minutes.
too.
It is a little bit long, and I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit surprised that it actually went as smoothly as it has because
Yeah,
we
actually,
usually try to do...
You caught me blindsided too, so.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot
Well,
better
to be
when we got
perfectly honest, I mean, Dave, Abe, Froman left, and then Gambova left, and it was like, I don't know how much I can fill in for 3 hours.
No, this is,
That's why we
it's kind of a, revolving door, kind of like
yeah, this is
what they had for the last year's national championship game for football. Like, just people kind of coming in and out, except we're just not as cool as some of those people.
No, I really appreciate that you guys both showed up, and
Thanks so much. We couldn't have done this for 3 hours alone.
I mean, we could, but there'd be probably a lot more dead air, so...
Okay,
We didn't really have that. I mean, to be perfectly honest, for 3 hours without any commercial breaks, we did okay with the dead air.
Oh, we had commercial breaks. We just kind of yammered through most of them.
And we somehow made it work. Okay,
Somehow.
so I've been Dave Ball, also known as Blinson on Reddit and @Blinson1 on Twitter. That's been LA King's Dave, as he's known on both Reddit and Twitter. Chris, I don't know what your Reddit name is.
My name on Reddit is Decaf, DEKAF, and on Twitter I am @Detroit Southern.
Okay. And Amanda? I forget what your Twitter name is.
I'm not saying it out loud.
Okay, fine. So,
Okay.
It's because someone said it out loud last week, and I was like, that's stupid.
So okay. Have a good night, everybody.
Well, hold on a second. I'll say it. No,
I can do it.
I got out of
I
it.
have no shame. I have no dignity.
if she doesn't want to say it, it's
In
okay.
my ears.
Alright.
Say it.
You want me to say it? Fabulosi. Fabulosi.
You can blame Ron.
And you're also Saturday Night Riot on Twitter, on Reddit, I mean.
Yes.
And we've been our HockeyCast. You can find us on Reddit at our subreddit is r/hockeycast. Twitter, we're at @rhockeycast. We have a website, www.rhockeycast.com. Type in our HockeyCast, it'll be us most likely. So have a good night, everybody.
Bye.